think we're live. Maybe, maybe not. I'm going to sit here and ramble to myself until I see myself come up on the screen. There's always a bit of a delay there. So, yeah, let me know when you can hear me or if you can hear me. So far, I'm just sitting here awkwardly. Here we go. Oh, it's refreshing. Let me know if you guys can hear me then. Actually, I think I can kind of check. Let's see. Dead Jester says live, yes. Yep, okay, audio's good. So, getting started today, there are a few things I want to cover and kind of clear up because there's so much misinformation going on around the internet from people who are just angry and kind of feeding that flame. And they're spreading, there's a lot of misinformation, a lot of things causing a lot of people to freak out and get discouraged. And I don't want you guys to be discouraged from making videos. That's not at all what I'm trying to do here. I want to do the opposite. So there are a couple of things that I do want to clear up that seem to be people are misunderstanding, because let's be honest, YouTube sucks at communication. They dropped the ball on this big time. I went and looked it up, so I knew. I didn't realize how many people didn't look up the information that kind of went by the articles. There were so many articles being published online that were just giving bad information, and then people were going to Reddit and kind of feeding into that. So anyway, I just want to give you guys a few things. One, smaller channels, you're not losing your cards, you're not losing your thumbnails, you're not losing a lot of the things that you needed to be a part of the partnership thing. Partnership, wow, words are leaving me already. That's not a good start to the live stream. But you're not losing those. You're still going to have access to those. So that's a big deal. Another thing I'm hearing a lot of, and I don't just mean the art community. Mostly I've been looking at, like, I was watching Philip DeFranco. I watched a few YouTubers, and I was reading through their comments of the people who were upset, like gamers and such. And one of the things that keeps being said is big tubers don't understand. They just told us to get over it. No, we're just telling you it's really not going to hurt you. This is actually going to benefit you in the long term because, and I see people argue against this too, but trust me, those of us who've been doing this long enough understand how all of this works with, as far as the YouTube analytics and all of this fun stuff. When you have advertisements on a smaller channel, your abandonment rate is so much higher than it otherwise would be. Smaller channels are already struggling to get those first 1,000 subscribers. Like the first 1,000, I think, is the hardest. And you throw ads on top of that, and it's going to slow you down. And so when those of us are telling you, you'll grow faster now, this is actually a good thing for you long term. We're not trying to be dismissive. I'm seeing a lot of people are upset emotionally, like we're not being emotionally supportive enough. I'm not here for that. I'm not going to lie. I'm here to give you some facts of what I know from doing this long enough. And those of you who want to learn, great. Those of you who are looking for emotional support, there are lots of groups out there that will help you with that. So that's just, I have time for one or the other. I want to teach you guys. I want to help you to grow. So that's where I'm going to go with that. So that's another thing I wanted to throw out there. But yeah, YouTube, somebody, Bernie Draw says YouTube needs to fire their PR team. Could not be more right. I don't understand, like, you make videos. That's your platform is videos. Oops, sorry, hit the mic. Probably going to do that a few times. But how did you not make a video explaining this to people? They could have avoided a lot of this. And so I am frustrated with them for that, for sure. But I'm excited for you guys that do have smaller channels, because I do think that this is really going to help you in the long run. So, let's see, I'm looking through just some of the quick things we had. Now, here's something I want to throw out there, and this is going to anger some people, I'm sure. But if you've been seriously trying to grow your channel, because a lot of people seem to feel like they're just permanently going to be small channels, and so they'll never be able to monetize. Set your goals a little higher. And realistically, if you're really trying, and I meant to put it in the video description and I forgot, check out, if you are serious about growing your channel, make sure you're subscribed to and watching all of Tim Schmoyer video creators. Just look up video creators on YouTube. Watch every video he puts out. He gives you great advice on growing your channel. Really, it shouldn't take you more than a year or so. If you're really, doing all the things that are advised to grow a channel, if you're doing all that, it shouldn't be more than a year for you to pass the threshold that at max that YouTube has set up. Now, there will be exceptions. I know that. I've seen one person was complaining because their channel, she said she produced content that no one would be interested in. She knew no one was interested in her content. So she said because of that, she can't grow. And because of that, she can't monetize. And it's one of those things where I'm just like, wait, so no one's watching, you want to be paid for something you're producing that no one is interested in. That makes no sense. So what I want you guys to think about, if you're having a hard time with your channel growing, and I don't think that's so much the case for artists because we are actually producing content. I'm not sure. I didn't actually look at their channel. I don't know what they were producing, but you're going to, you're going to have to reevaluate yourself sometimes. If your channel isn't growing, maybe try something else. Try a different format. Try a different schedule, or being on schedule if you're not already on schedule. And I'm going to give you lots of tips today on just getting your channel growing anyway. But that's something to keep in mind. I mean, I wouldn't start with the mindset of, I'm never going to grow and now I'm mad I can't monetize. You should work on growing. That would be a better way to go. Look at the long term in that. Another thing you have to remember, or a lot of people are saying, well, YouTube's going to keep making money off my videos, but I'm not. No one's making money off your videos. That's the whole thing. If you're not making money, then YouTube isn't making money. And YouTube, you want to, especially early on, try to look at YouTube as being more, this is Beanie Draw, has a lot of good suggestions. Tim, Daryl Eves, Roberto Blake. I love some of Roberto's information. You've got a lot of business ends on YouTube that they can give you, or like that's what they focus on. They're going to give you amazing advice. Definitely go subscribe to them. But you want to, where I just lost my train of thought. This is why I wrote it down today, because I know I was going to forget some of this. You want to remember to look at this as almost like YouTube is your advertising platform. You're going to be advertising other things. So like for me, I push Patreon now, but although early on, you're probably not going to be focused on Patreon, and that's a whole other video that we can talk about for those of you who are interested in growing your Patreon channel or groups, channels, platforms, whatever. It's really early for me. I'm so tired right now. But you want to look at YouTube as a part of your whole business structure. Don't look at your YouTube income as something you can ever depend on. YouTube changes constantly. And I'm not going to lie, I get frustrated occasionally too, because, our CPM goes down, different things as far as how much everybody's money is making, because YouTube or advertisers keep leaving the platform because of all these other problems. So this is something that we just have to, it's just a part of what we have to deal with. And I apologize for that, but you can't look at YouTube as this is how I'm going to make money. YouTube doesn't pay that much even when you get bigger. So try to diversify your income from other places so that when one thing, in this case, YouTube, or let's say, wherever your Facebook keeps making changes so that our pages aren't getting seen. So let's say that's how you're getting a lot of your commissions. Now people aren't seeing your page. You want to make sure you're diversified enough that doesn't just absolutely financially ruin you and discourage you from continuing to paint, continuing to make videos if that's what you love. So just things to remember. And YouTube doesn't make money. They don't make a lot of money themselves. YouTube itself, the platform, not super good. I know a couple of years ago anyway, they were still in the negative. If you go to another platform like Vimeo, I have to put a lot of my Patreon videos now on Vimeo because someone had stolen them, and it's a whole other thing. But Vimeo, not only is it not as good of a platform in many ways as YouTube, I pay $400 a month, or not a month, $400 a year to use it. Most platforms, the amount of space it takes to upload videos is very large. The fact that YouTube is still allowing you to upload for free is still good. I mean, I have videos that are not monetized on here, like my Patreon ones, and I'm grateful YouTube lets me store them here, honestly, because those are big files, and then other platforms do charge money. So anyway, there we go. I'm sorry about the screen capture thing. I'm going to change that right now. I'm just about to pop that out. I'm dumb. I should have had my laptop up so I could have chat there. So let's pull chat window out. Now, this is not going to be a typical live stream where I am going to, I actually kind of want to get rid of this. How do I get rid of that? There we go. It's not going to be a typical Q&A live stream, so I'm not going to be answering your questions that much. I really want to focus on getting through a bunch of these questions for everybody. Let's see if I can fix my screen a little bit here. I thought I was prepared. I was sitting here waiting for this to start, and I had everything set up so it was easy. Okay, this is kind of you can see. Okay, so starting out, we're going to start with Caution Artist at Play. This is a channel that has 95 subscribers, and the reason I'm starting here is one of our moderators actually gave me a special request because this is a friend of his, and my moderators do a lot of work for me. So if I can do something they've asked, absolutely. So let's go through this channel. My first thing that I'm seeing is if we look at this headline here, or the header image, that is not easy to read. It's not super impressive. This artist is amazing, but I don't feel like this header reflects how great of an artist she is. I've seen her work. She is amazing. But this is kind of busy. It gets chopped off. Here's the other thing you want to keep in mind when it comes to the header. YouTube keeps changing their or not YouTube, but all the platforms. Well, every few years they change the dimensions that you want to go with. So in this case, her dimensions on a phone, let me show you. I can actually, give me 1 second to look this up. And by 1 second, I mean too many seconds. Pulling up the YouTube app. Let's go to my history, because I know I looked at hers last night. I was so excited because there's so much about her channel I do love. Here we go. We will go there. At some point, I will get there and you guys will understand. Okay. So let's see if you guys can see this. Her channel, see how it's cutting off the name? You can't even, I can't even see if you can see this. Let's pull this up and see. And yeah, you see how it's pulling off her name. I don't know if the camera is going to focus on that, but if not, you can go to her channel, look up Caution Artists That Play on your mobile devices. Her channel, it's cutting off the C and it's cutting off play. You can't see the whole name there. You can see her name, Shayna Rowe Jackson, but you can't see the other part of this. The font is very hard to read. It's a little bit distracting there. And so when I go here, if I saw that, I don't assume she's as good of an artist as she actually is. And so one of the things that you want to do is go down to, or just go to Google and search YouTube header template, and you're going to come up with different designs. I'm going to head over to Photoshop right now to show you. See here how we've got all of these little, the safe area. This is what's going to show on all devices. So this is the area I really want to focus and make sure everything looks good on. Then those sidebars, we've got the next side over. This is what will show on a tablet. One more over. Here's what will show on the desktop. And then the whole screen is what's going to show on a TV. So this is what you want to design your headers around, so that this safe area in the middle, that reddish area, pink area, that's what people will see. So looking at like the Colored Pencil podcast, this is all showing good. I'm going to keep checking and making sure everything's still showing what I want it to show. Sometimes I screw this up when I screen capture, but look at the Colored Pencil podcast, what I've done. This as a whole looks good on a TV. The pencils, everything looks decent there, but see how the text all fits in that one, what would have been the red zone in the other one I was showing you. So you want to just go download that, use whatever photo editors you have to make sure that your images are fitting within those dimensions, that they're going to look good on everything. And I found it to be easier to just focus on that inside one and let the outside stuff just be blurry, nothing. Keep it simple and clean works really well. You don't have to put a lot of work into it, but something that indicates what that channel is about. So here for the Colored Pencil podcast, colored pencils. That's all I needed. Originally I had done a design that had our logo on it and all that. Just simplify it. I think this works better. So that is kind of what you want to go with whenever you're designing your header. And your header is very important. You want to get people's attention right away and show them that you are good. You're good at what you do. So, oh, good. Yay. Shayna is here right now. So she's actually watching. But let's move down. I like her image that she has for her avatar is good. It's colorful, the red, her face, everything's good. Now, most experts are going to tell you a thumbnail is better off to be your face, to be your brand. I don't do it. I go back and forth on whether or not I agree with that, but that is what most experts will say. So they're probably right. But I have my logo that I use. I don't know that that's the best choice. Most will tell you go with that, and maybe I'll end up changing that on my own in the future. Now, here's the thing: once you change something on your page, don't feel like, okay, I'm married to this now. It's going to stay this way forever. You're going to evolve regularly. I mean, try to keep it in theme with your brand. So, like with me, my brand colors, everyone knows that you can associate teal and my brand together, and the goldfish. So I try to keep that tied in. But as far as which images I use, which font I use, I may change a lot of that just because I decide something else may be better, may work better, may be more effective. We're constantly going to be evolving our channel because we're going to do a lot of stuff, especially in the beginning, that just doesn't work. It doesn't mean we're bad. It just means we're not there yet. We just have to learn more stuff. So let's go let's look down now at her stuff. Now, you've got some playlists, which is good. You actually have enough videos. I would suggest, and this is something you're going to hear me say a lot today, break things into bigger playlists. So let me bring you over to, let's say, the Colored Pencil podcast. Whoops, we need to go to YouTube, and I keep using them because that's a small channel right now. So let's see. Colored Pencil podcast. I have got to fix those thumbnails. It's a default that uploads. It's kind of a two-part thing. My podcast co-host gets them uploaded, and then I have to go and change the thumbnails, but I haven't in apparently 3 weeks. Wow, I fail. Okay, but look at how I've got this set up. I don't need this again. Go away. Look how I've got this set up to where you've got your playlist. So I've got a playlist for the interviews. I've got another playlist for colored pencil tips, another one for tips for artists or business tips for artists, another one for I just created playlist just because honestly I don't have enough playlists for them to fill up the whole page. I threw in my channel just because I needed to fill space. Again, our front page when you went to was like, huh, that doesn't have a lot of content yet because we just started it recently, fairly recently. So not the podcast, but uploading them to YouTube. So see though how everything's blocked into playlist. The other thing, when you set up a playlist, try not to have them to where they're all going horizontally. And this will be easier to show you on my channel because I'm logged into that. Let's see. So here we go. And if I don't get to your guys' channels, these tips, try to apply them. Think about how that may apply to yours. Is it something that you might want to adjust? Anything like that. So let's go down to my playlist. See how I've got a playlist for time-lapse videos. Now, one video may be in 10 different playlists. That's okay too. You want playlists on YouTube. That's a big deal for growing. It's something that they've really been pushing. Get playlists for everything. Try to have each video in at least 5 different playlists. I mean, really get those set up. Maybe not at the beginning if you don't have a lot of content, but eventually. So then I've got a separate one for colored pencil, separate for acrylic. See how these ones now move horizontally. As I move down, now we're back to the more vertical listing. And the way that you change that is just to go to Creator Studio. I'm going to customize channel. Maybe it's just not going to load. Okay, so when I customize it, see how I can hover over each section of playlist. I can decide which wants to be higher or lower on my list. I can also hit edit and change from vertical list to horizontal row. You just choose which one you want. You can look up the URL. So like this is an entire playlist and I just have to type in the URL from, oh, wow, that's new. Look, it's actually pulling up other playlists. It's not done that for me before. I always have to look them up. Yay, actually a good improvement for YouTube. So, but see, you want to vary that because it makes it more interesting when someone comes to your channel. Let's say you put out a video, they saw that video, they just weren't sure if they wanted to subscribe yet. They go to your homepage or your home thing for YouTube. You want to make sure you want to capture them at that point. This is like your chance to really get their attention and show them that you're doing something that they would be interested in, that it's relevant to what they're interested in. So that's one tip. So let's go back to this one. So you've got enough that I would set up a few more. You're going to want to get a few more videos before you set up a lot of playlists, but you can get started here. So let's go back to what this looks like at the home page. So one of the things that I noticed when I looked through this, like this one, now this is moving a little bit less onto design and, well, somewhat, we're going to talk about thumbnails, but more into the video itself. This one I actually watched last night because I looked at that and I was like, is that the reference photo or is that the artwork? Because, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And when you go to the video, one of the things that I am not super in love with is that you go through your tutorial, which is amazing. It's doing the background. Now, what she's teaching, doing the bokeh background, yes, she advertised that well on what she's doing, but when you go through, you feel a little let down on the payoff because look at, we go through the background, we go through the background, go through the background, we've got the background. That background looks amazing, by the way. And then she's going to switch over to just photographs of the rest of it. And so it leaves the viewer feeling a little like, oh, I didn't get to finish like, you gave me a piece of pie, but I didn't get to take the last bite. Like, I'm missing the good part. That is definitely something I would consider on your videos. And now, if it was a 2-parter, like part 1, part 2, because that's kind of what I thought. Well, maybe there's part 2 where I can watch her draw the bird. And there may be reasons you didn't have footage for that. It happens. I get that. But this is just kind of general because I don't know your actual situation on that one. But you did the same thing with Braving the Storm. Background time-lapse, which great, you shared the background, but I would suggest doing another video where you shared actually drawing the bird. Even if it's part 2, part 1, part 2, that's totally good, that's totally fine. But when I go to your channel, I can't find a part 2. There's no payoff in getting to see you do the amazing work you did on the bird and the leaves, and just, I want to see the greatness of what you've done. So that's one thing. The other is on the thumbnails in general. Now, when on this one especially, one of the problems we have into those of us who do like super realistic work is, especially on a thumbnail, it looks like a photograph. So a lot of people will pass by going, okay, that's the reference photo. I'm just assuming that's what that is. She's probably not that good. But if you can take a photo, work on the photos to where it's like a photo of the artwork and maybe some colored pencils laying next to it or pastel pencils laying next to it, whatever medium you happen to be working in. If you're working in acrylics, you could put some of your paintbrushes or something that shows that this is a painting or a piece of artwork and not just a photograph. That can help to get viewers to click on that video. Something that, and the other thing too, I mean, you're looking for artists to watch this. Artists have colored pencils. They relate to seeing colored pencils because they're like, oh, I have those too. Now it just kind of triggers a little bit more interest for a lot of people. So that would be one advice. So another thing, let's look over some of your titles. So this one I thought was interesting. Draw landscape and news for the new year. Now you've got to consider what people are searching for on YouTube. No one's going to type in their search function, news for the new year. Now you will see bigger YouTubers, PewDiePie, and I mean, gosh, Philip DeFranco does it all the time. His are more like sensationalized, hilarious, or outrageous in all in caps. Those of us who are a bit smaller, we really can't get away with that. We need to make sure that YouTube's algorithms know what our video is about and people see it and know what it is. So in this one, you reviewed a book. If you would have titled this, and I would go back and change this now, by the way, title that Colored Pencil Book Review. Now that is something someone might like. Colored Pencil Book Suggestion, Colored Pencil Book Recommendation. That might be a really good one. If you liked the book, I didn't watch the whole video, but that is definitely something that would get way more views just in adjusting the title, that little tweak. The video is there. You've got content that somebody may love, but they're probably not going to find it by Draw Landscapes because you're reviewing a book, and even if they did click on it, they were expecting maybe a tutorial on drawing landscapes, not a book review. So you want to make sure that your title both reflects what's in the video. You want to make sure you deliver on that. Clickbait's fine as long as you deliver on it. Not that you're clickbaiting here, but I mean colored pencil review, something that somebody's looking for. You've got to consider what people are looking for. Now, one thing I want to show you guys too that you can do, let's go ahead and click this. I'm going to pause that. Oh, good. You're smiling. I didn't pause it at an awkward location. So one thing that you can do, I love TubeBuddy. This is not, they have a free version. You can download that. The paid version has even more where it gives me video suggestions for tags. It gives me suggestions for different things, just good standards. TubeBuddy is amazing. And just for transparency, they did give me my account for free because of the network I'm with. So it's not something I pay for. Well, okay, this was kind of side story. I did pay for it. I contacted my network and said, hey, do you guys offer TubeBuddy? Because I know they work with a lot of YouTube networks or MCNs. And they said, we'll look into it for you. 3 weeks later, and me bugging them, they're like, we haven't heard back. We haven't. And I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to pay for it. It's worth paying for. So I paid for it. I am not kidding you. Next day, I get an email. Okay, they said they're going to give you 2 years for free. Oh my gosh, they were really cool though. They actually refunded me what I paid for. So I was really impressed with their customer service. But what they do is really nice because you get a lot of tools that will help you give you better suggestions on certain things. So I just want to throw that out there. This isn't a full like TubeBuddy advertisement, just it is a good thing to use. If you're really serious, at least go download. They have a free version that doesn't have as many options, but a lot of good ones. So it is worth getting for sure. Yeah, Valerie says she's liking TubeBuddy. It is absolutely great. So next, let's see. We talked about the title. Let's look at your video description. A new book for colored pencil artists, good, that would like to try their hand at landscapes. Okay, see, your description is good right off the bat, right in those first, couple of sentences, because that's what people see when they're scrolling through descriptions or video descriptions. You're only going to see like a sentence, or like barely any. Good, you've got good information there. You let people know what this is about. So YouTube can pull that up on the algorithm. The problem is, though, that your title is not as good as it could be. So your PS about your dog barking in the background, draw landscapes, you've got a link, good. That looks good. If this is an affiliate link, I don't know if this is or not, but if you link affiliate links, like let's say you have an Amazon affiliate link, another great way. If you were a smaller channel, that is something you can get signed up right now. Head over to Amazon and sign up for their affiliate program, because if you link, like in this case, you linked a book. If that book is available on Amazon and somebody clicks that, your link, and buys that book, you get a small percentage. So that's going to make you way more than what you're going to make on YouTube. So that's a great way to go for for monetizing yourself and something that you have a bit more control over. But if you do an affiliate link, make sure that you always say affiliate link, because of legal reasons. You could get in trouble if you don't. I don't know if this is or not. I'm just throwing that out there because it made me think of it. But this is a good video. This is something I think people would be interested in. Just changing that little thing will make such a good difference. Look at that, 39 views. Let's see. Hopefully more people will go watch that, because any kind of message, let's see. I don't need that yet. Let's see. I have, actually, you know what I'm going to do, because this is going to get confusing. Actually, no, I can probably do it on this. That actually wouldn't help. I'm not trying to think how I'm going to link to other channels. But anyway, I've not done this before, so I'm figuring it out too. We're trying new things. Okay, so let's see. Art of Jessie Renee said, when you say smaller channels, are you including those of us who have less than 50? I'm including anyone who thinks. If you think you're a smaller channel and you want to grow, that's who I'm including. But really this video, the thing that inspired me to make this and kind of walk you through some tips on growing your channels is that so many people were frustrated that the demonetization happened. I want to help you move past that. I want to help you to get beyond the numbers you need so that you can monetize again. So these are easy tweaks that you can do. So we've got related channels. You may want to do, I like to put suggested channels off to the side, other artists that I like. I've got a bunch on mine. Your related channels, that's cool. I'm surprised they don't have more related channels for you. Usually they'll put more on there. And see if there's anything else. I think this is good though. This gives you some good information. The tutorials tend to be the most popular. I mean, you can see here, 964 views. That was your highest, I think, viewed video. That's really what will draw people in. And then the vlogs are nice because it lets them get to know you on top of that. But I would definitely say do more tutorials if you are able to. You've got a few on here that are great, but they were, you know, a year ago, or this one was 7 months ago. If this is something you're really trying to grow, you definitely want to work on it. So here, okay, here's another video. You've got the Lightfast Lowdown, comparing 4 popular brands of colored pencil. That is one that I think could be way more interesting to people. But the way that it's titled is you're losing people just because of the title isn't as informative, I guess, as it could be. So maybe comparing putting in popular brands of colored pencils or 4 popular brands of colored pencils. Those are terms that no one's searching for, so they don't really need to be in the description. You could just put comparing Lightfast info or comparing Lightfast on 4 of colored pencil brands, or of 4 different types of colored pencils. You could put 4. I can see kind of keeping that one in there. But comparing the Lightfast of colored pencil, comparing colored pencil, Lightfast. I mean, play around with that of how you word it, but take out as many of those words as you can. Now, one of the things I fail at, and I don't want you guys to think I think have the best, you know, I know all the things. I don't. I absolutely don't. I'm terrible at descriptions of videos. It's easier for me to look at somebody else's than to do my own. I'm absolutely terrible. My descriptions are way too long, like way too long. They don't need to be. You want to try to keep them to the point and something somebody wants to click on, but not that long. So we have like this one, ampersand panels. What is it, an ampersand panel review? Then put the word review in that case. So here you've shortened it, but it's almost too short. Like ampersand panels, what? Is it a review? Is it a demonstration? You can put those terms in there to let the viewer know a little bit more about what they're doing, because I think your content is there. You want to just start focusing on how you get people's attention. So we're going to move on to another channel now. Come back over here. I've got too many things open. Let's see. So we're going to start now, and I am not going to get to everybody's today. I apologize. That is, I just apologize. We'll probably do this again. If you guys really like this and this helps, then we will probably do that again. So, okay, let's look at Raymond. Stop coming up. I don't need you. Raymond or Fine Art. This, we've got a nice, you know, the picture art at the top, which is good, but again, it's going to get cropped. It might be a good idea in this case to, now one thing I do want to mention too with Artist at Play, I would change the font, I would change the way that whole header looks, simplify it so that people can read it. Here, we don't have any text, but it might be a good idea to rework this in a way that, now I do like your name. I like that your name here is Raymond or Fine Art. You've got the fine art in there. It's obvious just based on that, what you are, but you can even do more up on your header. That I like that you've got a painting. That's good, but maybe do like a block. We'll show you, go back to the Photoshop, what I did for the Colored Pencil Podcast. See how I just put a image behind where it said Colored Pencil Podcast so you could see it well? One second. messages. Let me just make sure nothing's crazy going on here. I'm not missing anything. Nope, I think we are good. Okay. But see how I put that image behind the white text so that it showed up a little better where it was the colored pencil podcast area. You can do that. So let's say here, this is really bold, high contrast. I wouldn't just put font straight on top of it. I would, make a box, get creative with these, play with what is going to make you look more as professional as you can, but you also want to be human. So you've got to balance that. You don't want it to look like, I don't know, Target, where I've seen a lot, and I've talked about this before, where artists do, you're not doing this here, it just made me think of it, where a lot of artists will do the whole, contact us, we do this, and it's really just the one person. You don't need to make yourself sound like a huge, big company. I think it kind of dehumanizes you a little bit. But let's look down here at, let's see, you've got thumbnails. So you don't have a featured video, do you? You need to get a featured video. That's a big deal. So for now, just make one of your, whatever video you think is the best that gets a good amount of views, you want to make that your featured video. And when I say featured video, what I mean is, okay, so this is what returning subscribers see on my channel. But let's say new visitors. And again, I'm not saying I know all the things. I'm just giving you some tips that other experts have told me, and you're just not going to load what I want you to load, are you? Oh, it's because the live stream is going on. Okay, so that's actually a terrible example. Let's do this instead. So normally when you go, my brain not working. Normally new visitors here, I would have playing a video that's like a little channel preview. Something that hopefully quickly gets their attention and makes them think, oh, this is cool. Maybe I am interested in this. You also want to make sure you can see off to the side the information next to it that shows. So painting and drawing, lessons, tips, art, motivation, art advice. That is what my channel is about. So you want to sum that up. One thing that I see a lot of people start with is, welcome to my channel. No, welcome to your channel. Obviously, everyone's welcome to your channel. And I say this with web design too. Drop that. That's information. You want to get to the point as quickly as possible, and throwing in extra words actually is not beneficial because people don't read. So keep it as short as possible if you want people to see it. So here, a channel for artists, from a professional artist, just kind of information to try to make people think that I sound like I'm trying to scam them. Make them, show them that I may be the type of channel they're looking for to help them grow in these things. I've got my schedule, which should probably change that. That is not my schedule anymore. I need to update mine apparently, but that you want to make sure you have that showing, and this is not the case here. Now, sometimes YouTube will be weird and just not show things. There we go. Which is a possibility that it just isn't loading right for me, but it looks like you don't have a featured video. So get that going. That's one of your first assignments on this to improve. The next thing, I like that you have an art demo off to the side of your thumbnails. That's good. Lets people know what it is. Ooh, look at this. Oil painting time. Look at those ponds. Gosh, you are freaking amazing. We need people to see your content too. You guys this is the thing. I know your content is good. You guys are awesome. We just need to make sure everyone else knows that. So let's see. Oil painting time lapse of my eyes not so good. Carshalton ponds. No one's probably searching for that. Oil painting demonstration of water. Oil painting or how to paint a pond. How to paint reflective water. How to paint, if you can kind of twist it, the terms. So it's the same thing. I mean, you're essentially saying the same thing. You're just saying it in a way that's what people search for. No one's searching. They used to search for time lapse. That used to actually rank pretty well. Finding it doesn't anymore. YouTube, algorithms are changing. Things people are interested in are changing. The term time lapse not really searched anymore. So you could probably pull that out. But the same thing, I used to put speed painting and everything. No one really searches that anymore. So I pulled that out. I just saved, there's some more characters, and the rest of the way I'm going to describe my work way too long in my case. But try maybe, how to paint water, how to paint a reflection. Oil painting demonstration alone would be more beneficial than what this is, because the Jack, I would put in the video description what you're painting, the ponds that specific location, but in the title, that I don't think it's necessary. So let's see. Again, your work is good. I think your thumbnails actually look really good. I like these. This is nice, and I'm partial to the secretary bird because I painted one of those too. So that is really good. Okay, so playlists, same thing. How many videos do you have? Let's see. Oh my gosh, you have so much awesome content. Look at this. Okay, I'm excited for you because I think you're going to grow fast. Few tweaks, and that is going to make a big difference for you. So here, you've got a lot of content. You can break this up into playlists. So you could have a playlist for birds, and you can have a playlist for, let's see, do you work in different mediums or is everything colored pencil? Nope. Ink, stippling. You can have a playlist for that. You can have a playlist for watercolor. You could have a playlist for every different medium. You could have a playlist for different subject matter, you know, landscape versus animal versus, you know, break that up. Get some playlists going more than what you have now, because you're in a really cool position. You've got the content, and it's harder for someone who's just starting and doesn't have a lot of content because you can't really make a lot of playlists out of not a lot of content. You've got it. You can easily now go and adjust this. And the same thing I was saying before for artists at play, adjust how some are horizontal, some are vertical. Just get those on there. Making that adjustment, I think, will make a big difference. Let's look at your about really quick. Okay, here's an area you can definitely work on. Your about page, which I don't think it gets viewed that much, but often enough, put a little bit of time into it. Talk a little bit more about where you are. You've got, let's see, to buy prints of this painting, you've got a link there. Include that in your description if you want, but you can give a little bit of information. I like what you say here. Fine art, time-lapse painting demonstrations. I would just say fine art painting demonstrations because, again, time-lapse isn't something someone's really choosing, and if we can get rid of as many words as possible, you're more likely to have people read the content. But maybe talk about your experience. Talk about, do you teach or have you taught somewhere? You could include that. If you've won awards, which isn't required. I mean, just anything cool about yourself that someone may be interested in. Let them know a little bit about, do you play guitar? Do you play an instrument? Do you know, you can include a little bit more in there. Now, you don't want it to be a whole novel. Keep it fairly short, but you can do a little bit more in your about section. But I'm definitely just looking at your thumbnails. I'm liking this. So if you've got any other social media, I would link these up here. Facebook, Twitter, anywhere someone might be able to follow you would be good too. But because one of the things you want to remember too, YouTube changes things. One of the things that I had my own personal meltdown over before I calmed down is YouTube changed it a while back to where they weren't even notifying our subscribers that often anymore of our content. Or when the unsubscribe bug, it's still going on. YouTube's got some issues. I'm with you on that. I get it. But when these changes happened, people weren't being notified of my content. So I had to have alternative ways where they could find out that a live stream was coming, that whatever. So whether that be Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Oh, I forgot to post this on Instagram. Whoops. Sorry. I usually will send out an email newsletter with that information. This one was kind of a last minute plan, so I didn't do a lot of stuff. But you want, oh good, I just woke up. The echo. Go to sleep. I don't need you. There she goes. I have an echo spot on my desk, which is wonderful for my calendar and all that, and it wakes up out of nowhere. But you want to make sure that you have other places that people can find you, because with social media, let's say something happened to YouTube and it was just poof, gone. If no one is following you anywhere else, then they don't know how to find you. They don't know, because you'll then obviously go somewhere else to make videos, but how are they going to find you if they don't have other social media to connect with you on? So I definitely would say put that out there, and you can mention in videos that people follow you too. If you want to say, like, at the end of the video, make sure to follow me on Facebook, links in the video description. So, and also you want to include those links in your video description, not just on the front page of your homepage, but get that out there. But you're off, just some reorganization, I think will make this work a lot better, and changing your, some of these description. Pennywise, skateboard, oil paint. That's pretty cool. Maybe add in demonstration. That would be cool too. So just changing those titles, I think, will help you a lot. So let's go on to the next one. Let's see. Okay, this is pretty, and her font, I can read it. It's pretty. I can see that it's a painting. You might want to make it stand out a little bit more. Do a little bit more work on the design of that, but I do like that. I like that you've got your Etsy shop linked. I would also, again, Facebook, anywhere else someone can connect with you, make sure that they are, in case anything ever happens. And it's the same thing with Facebook. Let's say you focus on Facebook. You don't want everyone only on Facebook. This is why I always tell you guys, get a website. You can do a free Weebly website, just something where someone knows where they can find you if something happens to the platform they were currently fall on. Let's say for something happens and you get banned from the platform. The platform doesn't even, it doesn't have to be a situation where it just goes under and no one has it. Let's say for some reason you get falsely tagged for a copyright violation, because that happens. Let's say that happened. Where are people going to find you now if they don't know, push the social media thing a little bit heavier. So looking here, now you've got yours where it's all just lined individually. This is another thing. Put stuff into playlist. How many, let's see, how many videos? So you're in a decent position. You've got a few videos here that you can separate into different mediums or different style, like here, painting hair, here, maybe foliage, fauna type thing, a playlist for that. You've got a few with flowers, different animals. Start putting together other playlists. So this is another tip here. Oh, I actually watched you last night. You are adorable. I love how you present yourself and talk, and this is good. A few of these I pre-watched last night, but I like how you speak and present your information, so that's good. So let's go a little bit further. I like your thumbnails are actually really good. I like the way that you've got these set up. I watched, my friend loves succulents, and so she was also a friend. Well, both of us do. We were looking at your succulent pastel last night. It is so pretty. So let's see. Yes, I was stalking you guys. I was really impressed with the content that a lot of you are producing too. It's just changing stuff. So let's see, how to draw a giraffe with polychromos and luminance. I like that. Add in colored pencil. Colored pencil is one of the most searched, like that's a big one. You're losing out on the potential. People are more likely to look for colored pencil than they are polychromos or luminance, to the point where I might almost suggest how to draw a giraffe in colored pencil alone, because this way you're not excluding those who are working in Prismacolor, and a lot of people have Prismacolor, because I mean you can do something similar with any brand and you're going to have some variation, and you can talk about that in your video too, but this way it might include more people instead of people going, oh, I don't have polychromos and luminance, I can't do this. So maybe just that little tweak might be enough to help. So let's actually look at your video. I'm finally finished it. Okay, here, problem number one. I finally finished it. No one's searching for that. No one on YouTube. Hit my mic again. No one's searching for I finally finished it. So instead, let's try my drawing a giraffe, how to draw a giraffe. You've got that part. I love the how to draw. If that fits your video, that is a very popular search. So that's a really good thing to include. How to draw a giraffe in colored pencils is how I would change that. Then in the description, I would go on, here are some tips that anyone can use and apply to their own work, or anyone can use for drawing colored pencil, especially if you've got something that offers tips for beginners. That's hugely popular. If you can include that where a beginner might find use in some of the tips you're giving, include that in the description. But you definitely need, that's not no one can find this. So you've got this amazing video, this amazing content, and no one's finding it because of these little teeny tiny things that affect the algorithm. Oh my gosh, he is amazing. You are an incredible artist. My gosh, you guys are good. I want to see you grow. Okay. So yeah, you're giving tips. Are you giving tips? Let's see real quick. Or is this music? Okay. Now yours is music. One of the things that I want to suggest, because I used to do music and time-lapse too. Now it's easier. If that's all you're able to do right now, do it. That's fine. Better than not doing it at all. But it tends to do better if you can explain what you're doing to people. Just throw a mic, you can use a cheap mic, and just do a voiceover. It takes some getting used to. I used to hate doing them. It would take me so long, and I felt silly, and it took a while. But I find that videos that have a voiceover tutorial where you're giving advice on how you're doing it, more people are interested in than the ones with music. So another option you can do that I might end up doing it myself is, here's a video, like a faster one that has music to it because it makes it pretty and kind of that, like, watch something fun but not really learn, and then have a separate video for, let me teach you what I'm doing, let me give you the tips, let me talk you through this. That is another option, because I know I like watching videos where there's music, but most people, when they're looking on YouTube, when I started doing tutorials, like full-on tutorials, that made a huge difference in my growth rate. So I think that could be, and a lot of people will say, well, I don't know how. You know how to draw this. You'll figure out how to explain it. You've got skill. You are good. I also like that your name is Michelle Lynn Fine Art. That's good. You've included the fine art in it. If you had just used Michelle Lynn, no one really knows if they look at, like, let's say you comment on one of my videos. Somebody sees Michelle Lynn Fine Art, and they're like, oh, an artist, let's go see her channel. And that can, every time you comment on another little secret tip here, the more you comment on other art videos, and do not ever say, go check out my work. Never say anything like that. But you can comment something as simple as, wow, this is beautiful, I love it. Somebody else reading the comments sees your name as Michelle Lynn Fine Art. That alone can bring them to you. And this brings you that good organic reach of people who really would be interested in your content. Don't ever do, hey, check out my channel. Hey, I made a video just like this. That usually not the way to go. It usually turns people off because you come across as being spammy. So when you're doing that on another person's channel, but just commenting, just having a conversation, like look down here, Unmask Art commented, beautiful, Michelle. Bet it feels good to have it completed. I wonder how many people clicked that and were like, oh, he seems like a nice guy. Let's go see his channel. And then they realize he's also an amazing artist. Eric draws. I mean, you can, oh, he even said, I'm waiting for the voiceover. See, people want the voiceover. They want to hear you talk. And even if you think, I'm not good at this, I can't do this, I can't talk I'm not natural. Neither was I. Go back to my old videos. Oh, dear God. You would have thought I had something very stiff stuck up my rear. It was the most awkward thing to watch my older videos because I was like stiff and I was so worried people were going to say mean things to me and they're going to, because it's YouTube and that's scary. It really wasn't that bad. People do say mean things, but most people are like you guys and they want to learn. They're not there to be trolls. They're there to be positive and encouraging. And so, yeah, if you're hesitant at all about that, I definitely would say go ahead and do that. So let's say, I like that. Your description is the biggest thing. And you want full sentences. Here's another tip. When you guys are putting your description, don't just put colored pencil, next line, polychromos, next line, luminance, next line. YouTube doesn't like that. YouTube is looking for sentences, something that's more natural. Their algorithms, their search, very smart. I mean, it's Google. They know how to do this. And so they're looking for content. So you want to write incomplete sentences when available. I mean, when I write my supply list, that's not, because that would be hard for people to find what they're looking for. But as far as like my description of what the video is, do complete sentences, not bullet points or anything like that, because that's what YouTube is looking for in order to share that content with other people. So let's look at your tags. Giraffe, colored pencil, polychromos, luminance, realistic. No one's looking up the term realistic. That tag isn't going to help you. Mona Lisa, odorless, mineral spirits. That's a good one. Fabric pastel. That's a good one. I would also include how to draw in colored pencil. Do full list. One word things don't help you that much in the tags as much as full terms that people would search for. How to draw a giraffe. How to draw in colored pencil. How to blend colored pencil. These are terms people are searching for, and those are terms you can add. You want to add them both in your tags, and you want to use those terms in your video description. So in this one, you're going to say, I'm going to teach you, or I'm showing you how to layer and blend colored pencils. That's something people look for, how to layer and blend colored pencils. So write that in a sentence and include that term in your tags. So those are all things that will really help. I mean, this video is good. This should grow. You should be able to get more views on this. And again, adding more information for doing a voiceover will make a big difference too. The link to your Etsy, good, but I would also say link to your Facebook, link to other places people can find you. Like I was saying before, something happens, let's say you unfortunately get banned even if it's not intentional and your videos do come back, YouTube will fix it. But if it happened, how are people going to contact you in the meantime and find out what is going on? How are you going to let them know, oh my gosh, this just happened? I know, like I was hacked earlier this year. Actually, my MCN was the one who was hacked. It wasn't me personally, but it affected my account, and somebody went through and changed it was a big thing. So anyway, I was able to go through social media and let people know, hey, I know I was hacked. I know this is happening. They're working on it. So you need a way that you can contact people. Actually, I made a video too because my channel didn't go down just that. But anyway, so that should give you some tips. Let's see who is next. Let's see. I'm going to jump down just for a minute because actually we'll do it this way. I think I want to pull up, nope, I'm going to search for, let's see, Afshan CK Arts, because I am bumping her ahead in the line right now because I used her in my thumbnail, so it's only fair since I used her that I gave her some advice. So this channel has so much I love about it. She is doing so much good stuff here. So one thing that I noticed on here that I love that you wear bright colored hijabs. I'm probably saying that wrong and I sound ignorant. I'm apologizing. But I love the yellow and the red, and in your thumbnails, I noticed that when I was scrolling through, it's like, I want to click on that because bright colors. People like bright colors. And I love that you wear like these really, like there was one that had flowers on it, I think, but like these interesting prints that are bright and colorful. And I think that's really nice on your thumbnail. Like, yeah, your avatar has the floral with the red. That is awesome. It's bright, it's colorful, it's happy. This is good. And I think you guys can do that with it clothes you're wearing or anything you have in your background. Try to keep some of those colorful as happy. Now, I love your header that you can see the text really well. The image is cool, but I might change that into something that was more art related. It's a pretty photo and it's a cool photo with you looking out over the ocean, but I think you could make that a little bit more attractive because like the rest of your thumbnails show art supplies. I think you might want to play with including that a little bit more. It would seem like it would let people know you're really focused on art. Sometimes when you have a photo that isn't art or doesn't show that, people it can, although the rest of your thumbnails pretty much tell the story, but I mean, that would definitely be something you might want to consider. I like that you have Facebook and Instagram, but here's the funny thing. You don't have them linked. Why don't you have them linked? Like I can see that you have them here. You've got the image, but you don't have the link on your account down here. And what should happen, let's see. Whoops, that is not what I meant. I don't always type it out all the time. Let's see. Yes, Kaneho just emailed me. He's got a good tip for you guys. Speak clearly so your videos can, oh no, maybe he's talking to me. Speak clearly so your videos can be subtitled. But just in general, I want to say for all of you guys, speak clearly. Make sure, try to be loud enough. I've seen some where people are kind of whispering and they're like, well, I think I might go ahead and do this. And then we're going to add this. And you're just like, oh my gosh, speak up. I'm not saying that for any of you. I've just seen that before. Make sure you're speaking loud and clearly. Unfortunately, for someone like me, I speak fast. Just how I talk. I've talked like this since I was 4 years old. I've been told my whole life to slow down. It's not like telling somebody to slow down when they're driving. There's no pedal. There's no automatic. And if I get excited, I talk even faster. Then I have people go, drink less caffeine. It's not the caffeine. The tea I'm drinking right now is decaffeinated. I've had no caffeine today. So anyway, you do want to try and speak clearly in your videos. Make sure it's loud. Now, one thing too that's important to know, your audio is in most cases more important than the video. And that seems weird. I'm making a video. That's more important. I would rather see you, like, let's say you come up, I've got $200 to spend to get a camera and a mic. Should I spend the whole $200 on the camera, or should I spend $150 on the camera and $50 on the mic? Go that route and get a mic. Like, you can get the blue snowball mic, is about $50. That's good enough to get started. But good audio makes a big difference. If you're in a room, like if you're recording in a room that has hardwood floors and it's really echoey, that can get really distracting. Throw an area rug down, look up online different ways to dampen that sound, but try to get good audio. That will turn people away. If your video is really good, but your audio's muffled or echoey or anything like that, that is going to say, like, people aren't going to be interested. So anyway, going in here, look at here how I've got my links. I've got my website, because that's the main place I want people to go, is to my website. The next, I've got Patreon, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Those are the main social media platforms I'm on. Although I've got someone working to build Pinterest for me right now. She's doing some amazing work. Thank you, Leela. But so that may end up, I think you can add that. But anyway, you want to make sure you get that in there. And if you're not sure where, you're going to go to your About. And I'm going to then click Customize Channel. Hopefully this doesn't screw anything up while I'm live streaming. Okay, see down here, I've got my links, all of my official links. So you just hit this little button off to the side, the little pencil. There you go. Another tip, and I know I'll see this on somebody's, make sure when you do Twitter, sometimes you get the little earth icon instead of the little Tweety bird. Make sure, usually the thing that's causing that, Twitter, if you have HTTPS, instead of just HTTP, that sometimes will do it. And sometimes if you put www.twitter.com instead of just the 2 backslashes. So you have to play with that, but you can get the Tweety bird guy instead of the icon. Make sure you get that on there. But yeah, go down there and add your social media links. So we're going to cancel because I actually like how mine are right now. And let's go ahead and go back to home. And let's go back to this. Okay. So thumbnails look good. You need playlists, better playlists, because I think you've got a decent amount of videos. You've got enough videos to get some playlists going. Now, one thing you might want to do, and I'll open up a thread in our art group. It might be kind of cool for you guys to do a playlist type collaboration for your front pages. So let's say Afshan and Picks by Lise. Let's pretend those two have channels and they want to do a playlist. They both have some colored pencil videos. And they put a playlist together. Each of them makes their own playlist that has both videos and links that on their front page. You just now got more content on your front page. You're helping a friend. That's a way you can go too if you don't have a lot of content yet, but you really want to have more information and get people to sign up to see like, oh, they've got more. You can make it appear almost like you have more by working with another YouTuber. Get together and see about possibly almost like cross-promoting just with your playlist, kind of like what I did for the Colored Pencil podcast. So if we go over to, again, I don't know if I did this. Did I set up our URL? If not, I'll talk about that anyway. Yes, I did. Okay. So we go over to Colored Pencil podcast. All of this is information that the podcast had, but I didn't have that many videos to work with. I needed to make a new playlist. So I made one out of colored pencils that I have off my channel. I put it over here. It doesn't hurt the podcast to promote some of my stuff, or John, he doesn't have my podcast co-host, he doesn't have a lot of videos yet, but I would have linked his too if they were there. So just getting more information on that front page, and I'm not saying you need to promote everybody, I'm just saying it might be a good way for you guys to do a collaboration of sorts to cross-promote each other. You're both promoting each other. You're essentially doing a trade. That is going to help you to grow. That's an easy way to do a collaboration and get some growth. So that would be good. Let's see, get rid of that. I'm sure I'll pull that up later. I believe you do have, I subscribed, so I can't see it. But you do have a welcome video playing, so that's good. But I think, actually, I'm going to unsubscribe right now because I want to see what that video was. This is why I subscribe, and I'm subscribed to people all the time because I want to see what they have. You can't always find it. Okay, so let's see your description. This channel is about discovering yourself, being you, and owning it. If you love art, people, and some good motivation, this is your place. I might twist that. Put the art part first, and then the part about discovering yourself, being you. I think if you redid that, because people, you're teaching art things, and I think that would be the thing that I would push there a little bit heavier, because a lot of times people will see that but not watch the video. So make sure that content is very I like the end as I find my way into the world. See, this is nice. This is motivational. It's positive. I like that you put your name in my channel at a glimpse. That's good, because a lot of people, and I'm sure we'll see some that I can use as examples later, but that looks good. The playlist is the big one for you at this point. I like your thumbnails. I like that they're colorful. I like that. Yeah, no, I think these look pretty good. This one here, though, under popular uploads, this thumbnail is dark and muddy, and you look at this one here and it's bright and beautiful. Fix that. That makes a difference, and I have to do that myself. Like the video I uploaded yesterday, I uploaded it and it looked good in Photoshop big, but when I shrunk it down, it was like, oh, those colors are muted and look terrible, and I had to edit it so that it would work in thumbnail format. Sometimes big looks great, little is like, oh, that's not working for me. So get those colors in there. I like that you put artist problems, but you might want to include, instead of just yourself, I would probably focus more on the word artist problems, get that bigger. So that's the thing people say. Maybe photos of spilled paint, or photos of colored pencils that felt, something with art, something more art related than your face at this point. That sounds mean, doesn't it? I think that for that video would be better. Now, the one trying Robin Kluntz 5 awesome drawing, that's great. That thumbnail looks great. So, I mean, just some of these videos, try to think what people are going to be more likely to click on. Because I think the subject, artist problems and how to be an artist plus collaborate, that's great. I would just, and I don't even know if you have to say plus collaboration, because you wouldn't need to say collaboration unless you told who you're collaborating with. You could just let them know in the intro. Oh, by the way, I'm going to be talking about this later, but plus collaboration, not something anyone's searching for, so it doesn't really need to be there. Now, if you're doing a collaboration, let's say you did a collaboration. We'll go back to, let's use Valerie as an example. Let's say you and Valerie Connell did Drawing with Fire, did a collaboration. Then I might put collab, shorten it so that you can fit more, with Drawing with Fire, because that might be, let's say Drawing with Fire, that might be something somebody is looking for. So by putting that in the title, that makes more sense than just collaboration, because no one's searching for collaboration, if that makes sense. The whole point of a collaboration is to play off each other's viewers, to subscribers, to try to cross promote each other. So you want to include the names versus just collaboration. Okay, let's see. Yeah, see, and Ashton said that was an old video. I need to update. Yeah, and sometimes the old videos, it's not worth updating. I get that. But just, you know, a couple tips that for things I'm first seeing. So let's go ahead and let's find, I'm going to go back up. So we went that one. We did you. Let's do Katie. Or Caddy? Katie. I can't read. Okay. So, first thing, cool drawing at the top. That is awesome. I'd throw some text. So here's one where I was talking about before, where there's nothing, when I look at the name and I look at the header, there is nothing just based on those two that tell me you're an artist or what your channel is at all. There's no indication for me. Cool art, but that could just be somebody who had a cool art header. It doesn't mean that the artist drew that. So I might put what kind of an artist that you do digital paintings, you know, digital artist, digital painting tutorial. You can keep it simple. Your name being Katie Arsenio, that works. You might want to put Katie Arsenio fine art or something like that. You might want to extend that name just a bit. So like what I was saying before, when you comment on somebody else's video, people are like, oh, that's an artist, let's check out their work. So that may be helpful. A lot of us do that. We just use names that people will find more easily. Let's see. Okay, same thing. We don't have much content with videos here. We have uploads. How many videos do you have though? What? Okay. You've got so many great videos. Look at all of this. We now want to take those great videos and put them in playlists. And then your front page needs to have it. Look at it's just a front page of blank. If somebody came to this, they would just be like, oh, they probably don't have that much content. Meh, I don't need to subscribe. Now show off that content. You've got good stuff going on here. Your thumbnails are actually pretty good. There's debate back and forth. Some people say do include text. Some people say don't. You're going to have to play around with what seems to work better for you for the thumbnails. But I like that they're bright. They're colorful. They show what they are. One thing that I found to be helpful is, like, let's say this lion. That looks almost, when you look in thumbnail form, or that tiger, that looks like just a black and white photograph. Throw some pencils laying on the image so that people are like, oh, wow, that's artwork. This artist is incredible. They know what they're doing. I want information from them. I want to learn from this person. I want to paint like them or draw like them. But like the speed paint, summertime lapse, that probably isn't helping you. I might put like speed paint, summertime lapse. If that was digital, I'd put, you know, digital painting demonstration or acrylic painting demonstration if I'm going to write. Make sure it's easy to read. I know those are 2 years old, so your newer ones are way good. I'm just using your older ones as examples. Your newer ones I like, though, that, you know, it has the text there. The text is a little bit hard to read. I would make it a little bit bigger, readjust stuff as needed, because it's kind of being chopped off at the top. I can't read this one at all. It's water-soluble graphite drawing. Okay, I guess I can read it a little. But work on that. If that means shrinking the image down a little bit, then do that. But make it fit a little bit better. Same thing here. That deer, my first thought would be that's a photograph. That's not artwork. I'm not going to click on it. I don't need to see photographs. Throw some pencils so they're kind of laying off to the side just to get people to go, wow, that's a drawing. I've got to see this. So that, I think, will help a lot. Again, I like that you're getting the color. Now here's one. Look at how you're using the color that works with your digital painting. So here's a teal colored or like peacock blue colored monster. And then the water or the image that you have the text over is the same color. It's getting lost. They're losing each other. Do contrast. For me, I just pick one color and use it for everything. I use teal for everything. But in this case, being that you're changing the colors, I would just not try to make them match. They match too much. In this case, like the monster is kind of being lost in that square. So that would be a tip on that thumbnail. This thumbnail here, I would put digital painting demonstration or, you know, some little text you could do there. But your description is good enough. So if you chose not to, that works. Because like I said, some people will argue back and forth whether or not it's worth putting text on there, because when it is a small thumbnail, it is hard to read. So you have to keep that in mind. Let's see. Does YouTube penalize you in any way when you remove or make older videos private? No, not at all. Here's the thing with older videos. I leave mine up because, one, they're a great example of my growth and how I make videos, and I think it can be motivating for you guys to realize where I started, because this is another thing that a lot of people right now with the whole YouTube demonetization of smaller channels thing, they're saying about bigger channels. You just don't understand because you're bigger. You don't know what it's like. Did you think I was born with 100,000 subscribers? Like, what? I started there. I struggled, and when I did this, there weren't videos like, or channels like Tim Schmoyer's Video Creators or Daryl Eves, or these channels that teach us some of the stuff that I'm talking about here. Nothing. There was no content teaching me. I had no idea what I was doing. It was harder to grow back then than it is now, and that's something that I just want to encourage you guys with, because you've got a lot of information out there telling people, oh, you can't grow anymore. YouTube's dead. You're never going to grow. You're never going to do this. That is absolute bull. It's just not true. I think it was harder then to grow as a small channel than it is now. You've got a lot of tools at your disposal. You've got a lot of information that didn't used to be there. So don't ever, if you're reading that, don't ever go, oh, it's true, it's dead, I'm never going to grow. If you're not growing, there's a reason for it. So we just need to find out what it is. And that reason doesn't necessarily mean, oh, you're bad. It just means we need to find out what the reason is and then work to kind of evolve the channel into being found easier by people or being watched more by people. Okay, so anyway, you've got a lot of videos here. Break that into some different playlist. You can have a digital playlist. You can have a playlist for animals, a playlist for monsters, a playlist for graphite. Get a lot of playlists. This is one you want to have a lot of. So, gosh, just to give you an idea, we'll go over to my playlists. That's a lot. That's a lot of, actually, and it's not a lot. I say it's a lot. It's a lot compared to what I'm seeing a lot of people do. I don't even have enough. That you should do more. They say make a new playlist every week. A lot of experts will tell you constantly make new playlists. It helps just the way the YouTube algorithms work and all of that. You want your videos in as many playlists as possible, and every time you make a playlist, that helps. So yeah, playlist. Okay, which tab? I always have so many tabs open. So that gives you an idea. I think you're off to a good start here, though. This looks good. So get those playlists going so that people can see. You don't want them seeing a big blank page. It would be better for you to be linking other digital artists here or doing collaboration with another digital artist where you're both, cross-promoting each other, than to have all this blank space. And one thing, I think a lot of people seem to get this impression that I don't want to promote somebody else because then I'm not promoting myself. This kind of like, if I send someone to somebody else's channel, then they're not going to watch mine. With YouTube, that's just not how it is. Cross-promoting, promoting, doing collaboration, sharing other channels, this is only going to help you. So don't feel like, I've seen that artists more than YouTubers seem to get this in their head. Like, I can't share another artist's work because, or like they'll make an art group and they don't want other artists sharing their work because no, this is all about me. You will not grow that way. You want to definitely, and there's enough to go around. There's no reason to be like, I have to hold all the viewers for myself. It doesn't really work that way. So don't ever be hesitant to share another artist's content. It will only help you. Okay, let's go on to another channel. Christy Allen. And I know I'm not dissecting everything all the way. I'm basically just picking apart like things that are standing out to me really quickly. Okay, things I like here. We've got a nice intro video there, drawing a coyote. So what she did, hers is not a, what's it called? Actual channel trailer. God, words, they're hard. Seriously, it's too early. This is why I do live streams tonight. Oh wait, no, I screw up then too. But anyway, you want to have a channel trailer, and if you guys don't have a channel trailer yet, just put up any video you have that you think is your best that would attract someone. Get that channel, add that to your channel. So Christy is an amazing artist. These are all the Patreon. Well, we've got a bunch of, not all of them, but we've got a bunch of Patreon challenges there on your images. That's cool. I recognize these. Anyway, so this is good. Some of this is going to get chopped off, but it's not stuff that's going to completely get chopped off. Would you make your name a little bit more obvious up here? Your Instagram here, I used to do that too, and I don't think it really helps so much. I would put that information, same thing I was saying before, put that information over here. You've got your Facebook page, put your Instagram over there. Put that information here where people can click. You don't need your YouTube link. They know your YouTube link because they're on your YouTube. So you can actually get rid of that one. But you can readjust that. I do like that it's artwork. I might include, because you, again, are super realistic, you may include some pencils in there. Or, let people know, I like your thumbnails. Oh, I'm going to have to take some advice from your thumbnails. Those are bright and colorful. You've got colored pencils on there, which is going to draw people in who are interested in colored pencil. This is nice. I like those. Okay, you don't have a lot of videos in the front, so let's see. Oh, you've got a few more. You can make some more playlists out of that. 7 months, 1 month. Okay, so you do have current stuff. This is good. You have been doing stuff. This is such a great example of thumbnails though. They're bright, they're colorful. You've got pencils. You can see the artwork. It looks very professional. I do like this. Now, you can't really read the signature, but you can recognize it at a glance. Like if I was looking through a bunch of videos, I would know that with the bright blue feather. I know that's you. So this is nice. I mean, you might want to make that more legible. You'll have to decide about that, but I still think it's easy enough to recognize it as you that it's probably okay. Just play with what works better. I like your intro there. This is a good example of stuff. You just need, again, more stuff. Let's see your about page. My passion has always been creating art. My goal is creating pieces that show emotion. Okay, so here's the thing. Here in your video description, now YouTube, sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. They keep changing whether or not it shows up. But what used to happen on video descriptions and on, let's go to, that's a bunch of random stuff. Okay, let's say, wow, this is the most random. YouTube suggests the most random. I mean, I actually like his. Drew Lynch is hilarious, but some of these I'm like, why would you suggest this to me? Anyway, moving on. Let's go to, let's search colored pencil tutorial. Like, you've got to think, but when you're coming up with your title, think about what other people are going to type in. What are other people going to be interested in? Are they going to type in colored pencil time lapse? Probably not. Are they going to type in colored pencil drawing a specific lake? Probably not. How about colored pencil, how to draw water? That's what someone's looking for. And so that will also give you an idea of content that you may want to draw because people are looking for it. So look what comes up. We've got the thumbnails. And we can scroll over. Okay, that isn't giving me much there. So one of the things that YouTube used to do, and obviously it's not doing it here, I suspect they'll do it again because it seems to come and go. When you would scroll over this part, the channel's name, you used to get a pop-up and it would show you what the about section was on your page. That would show up there. Or if you commented on somebody's video, it would show up when somebody scrolled over your name what your about section said. So take that as an opportunity to advertise yourself. Now, right now, it apparently isn't working. I don't know if it's an issue with using Chrome, if it works on some browsers, if they changed it right now. I'd be surprised if they didn't bring it back. It seems to be this thing that comes and goes. But, and because one day it'll work and the next day I'm not seeing it. I don't know. But if you can get your about, where are we? Back here. Get your about to, instead of talking about your passion, talk about what your channel is about. I do YouTube, or not YouTube, obviously you do YouTube. I teach colored pencil tutorials. I demonstrate colored pencil, give you tips and advice on your own colored pencil work. That's the sort of thing that you really want to include in your about section. And then you can lower on your first two sentences, or what used to show when you would hover over, like I was saying, which are not doing that now. I would go ahead and change that to something that is a little bit more of an advertisement for your channel for your first two sentences. Then on, you may go on to what you said here. It's not that you can't include it, but you want your initial thing to be a little bit more information. I would also, the same thing I was talking about before, it looks like you need to get these links up here. And that's what you do from, again, you go to your about page, and then you'll have a thing, your blue button to edit, and then you'll come down and put your links, but add those links in there. Because those I'll click on. I'm not realistically, even if I'm like, wow, your content is amazing, I'm not going to grab my phone and type and try to look you up on Instagram in most cases. I'm lazy. Most of us are lazy. But if you give me a button to click on, that's a whole other story. So just think about that when you're doing those. So let's take a look at another channel. Okay, same thing. That is a lot of blank space. 30 subscribers. I suspect you're okay. Yeah, you're just starting. You've only been doing, well, okay, you've got a good amount of content for 1 month, so good for you. So looking at your videos, you're not going to have a lot, again, with playlists. So what you may want to talk to is see if you've got an artist who is willing to work with you and do that exchange. Ideally what you want to do, like, don't go to an artist who has 50,000 subscribers and be like, hey, let's do this exchange. You've got to provide value to both parties. So you want to make sure you're going to somebody else who's like go find a new channel, one who's just getting started, and say, hey, is anybody, and like I said, I'm going to throw a page or a post over in our art group about this. So hopefully some of you guys can get that going. But do an exchange of playlists, and you can just include that playlist until you guys get big enough that you've got a bigger, more of your own playlist to keep on your front page. I'm not saying you always have to do that, but it's a good way to get started and kind of help boost each other up. But it looks like I love this. Love your header image because you've got it centered nice. I can easily read Rook's artworks. I've got a sample of your artwork, which is amazing, by the way. You've got colored pencils in the background, so it gives me an idea. Again, when art supplies, I'm finding a lot of people seem to kind of connect with. So that's a really good thing. Your thing is just, you've got to produce more content right now. Your thumbnails look amazing. I love your thumbnails. I don't think you're going to have any problem growing at all, just based on what you seem to already know here. But again, you need a channel trailer. Let people know what your channel is about. And if you don't have one right now, you can go through your settings and I'll show you on mine. Let's go to, I don't want featured. I actually want, I might have a hard time getting to it. Hold on. Nope, that isn't going to do it for me. Whoops, wrong one. It's weird right now. My channel is showing things I'm not used to because, whoops, I did it again, of the live stream. I don't usually have to show people my own channel on this stuff. So I want to go to Creator Studio. So this goes into the back end of my channel. And what I want to go to is Community Channel. And from here, you've got upload defaults. So I have my description that it just goes to all of them, and I sometimes forget to change. Paid subscription, featured content. That's what you're looking for. Featured content. And this is where remove ad. It's just your channel trailer. You can add a trailer, and when you click on that, you can just make one of your current videos. And what I do for the channel trailer itself, when I upload it, now this one I think I left public, but normally because I was really proud of myself on it. I was excited about it. Not gonna lie. But normally with a channel trailer, what I've done in the past is just left it as unlisted, but it shows right there on the channel trailer because that's all I really wanted to see. But that's where you're going to find that information. So let's go back to, so if I need to use anything of myself as an example, but that is good. I like this. You might, part of me says go a little more colorful on your icon because it's more likely to be seen, especially when you're commenting on somebody else's channel. So let's say, again, go to other artists' channels and comment. Not only are you helping that artist, you're also the side effect is you're helping yourself too, because if you write an interesting comment, and you need just go and go, oh, beautiful, nice. That's not a comment that usually is going to get people back to your channel. If you want to get people back to your channel, that's nice to do for people too. That's just, helping them out. You want to get people back to your channel. Look at it. And I do not recommend going and critiquing their work unless they ask. Go to it and point out the things that you loved. Oh my gosh, I loved how you blended. Like, I'm looking at your flamingo. I love that you got that shadow under the neck that pushes the head forward. And I just love that about this, that this is beautiful. Point out something that's people are like, oh, this person has interesting comments. Maybe I'll check it. Who are they? Because I see that you're Rook's artwork. You've got a great name there. Let's check out your channel. So that will help. And if your icon is a little bit brighter, like maybe instead of having a white background, change to where the icon is white and the background is like bright red or whatever colors you like, gray. Might stand out. You play with it. See what looks best. What draws more people's attention when you leave a comment. What's going to kind of make them be drawn to that icon. Bright and colorful is good. Let's see. Okay, let's take a look at another channel. Advanced Art Designs. Good artwork on the front. That's good. I've got two problems here though, because we're going back to what I was saying before on Photoshop or with the template. That's going to cut off most of this. The writing, this is all we've got to work with. What's in the red space. Anything outside of that on a mobile device gets cut off. And at least, I think it's higher than 50% now of your viewers are viewing on mobile. So remember that gets cut off. But I like the artwork. I would shrink this one. The little baby doesn't really show up as much. The giraffe looks nice, but the portraits, those seem to be like the brightest color. I would kind of scoot them in, and in advanced art designs is going across in a way that, like I said, is getting chopped off, but it's also getting lost in here. So one of the things that you want to try to keep in mind, I know a lot of us are like, well, I'm a small channel, so I don't have to have, it doesn't have to look that professional. But if you want to get more subscribers, try to make yourself appear as professional as possible. So look at your design here where the text is just black text, kind of gets lost. That could be definitely adjusted so that this layout was bright and bold. And maybe, you know, it might be a kind of a fun thing to do. Maybe one time do a live stream where I can kind of show you what I would do if I were making a header for you guys with your content. So that might be a fun thing to do in the future. I don't know. Maybe I'm not sure how well it would record, but that would maybe fine. Anyway, that would be my thing there. And you want to go with your name, Advanced Design Art. That's an awesome name. So make sure that your header is advanced looking, if that makes sense. Like really get it so that people are like, okay, this person, they are professional. Everything looks super advanced. Play that up. But yeah, I would readjust that. Your artwork is good. So I especially like this one all the way off to the left, or the right, sorry. Left. So right. Ow. I'm kidding. I know my left and right, although I did just hurt myself. Okay. But this one, the color saturation here is the best of the group of all the artwork you have on here. This artwork of this child, the light and the dark and the skin, the way the highlights is, that is a beautiful piece. What I would do if this were mine to adjust, I would do more like, let's go back to the colored pencil podcast, how I've done that one. And again, I'm not saying that everything I do is the best and this is how you have to do it, but this might be an idea. Oh, that's not what I wanted at all. That looks terrible. That's not what I'm using as an example. Okay, let's use this as an example. See how I've got one image? I used to try to put images everywhere. I found that this seems to look better and be more eye appealing if I use one image like this. It's a photo of several paintings, but do one. See how I've got art supplies there, and then I can put my text off to the side. It's easy to read, kind of. Excuse me. Look at me burping on camera. That's appropriate. But it's much easier to read than having images going all the way across. This is easier to design. It's a lot easier. Yeah, someone suggested changing the font maybe to a bit clearer. Exactly. That you really want to make sure, and even mine, if you look at mine, see how right now where it says official website lachri.com, I don't know. I may pull that out because look at how it's overlapping my new videos and live streams every week. I don't know how much I care about it, honestly, but I mean, that would be a tip I would give myself is that is overlapping. That's not great. Mine is set up so that no matter what size screen someone has, mobile, tablet, anything, it works. It's not cutting anything off, but it'll look good in any size. It's just that this is really centered on like a TV. You have a lot of open space of the blurry colored pencils in the background. So that I think would be, yes, Megan says, header is about composition too. Exactly. We're artists. We know composition. Why do we sometimes forget? I don't know why. Me too. I do it all the time. We forget to, I do it in my thumbnails. I'm the worst at. Why is it we understand composition for our artwork and then we go to where we're editing and like making promotional stuff for ourselves or our website or whatever. And it's like our understanding of composition just goes out the window. We all do that. Like, you want to see some of the worst websites? Look at an artist's website. It makes no sense. We should be the best. We should have the best websites because we understand composition. But for some reason, I don't know if it's that we try to be too creative. I'm not sure what it is, but it's kind of rare to find a good artist website. Usually you look at it and you're like, oh, this is a headache for me. This is not eye candy. This is like Brussels sprouts. Please make it stop. Sorry for those of you who like Brussels sprouts. But anyway, we have a tendency to do that. You know, we've got to think more about design. So I think yours, let's go back to your page. I think you could really improve on this. The artwork you've got, and especially this one here off to the right, that is gorgeous. That is such an impressive piece. Now we go to the same thing, the playlists. I've already covered that. Let's see how many videos you've got. Oh, you've got enough videos to do a few playlists. That's good. You can do one for animals. You could do one for fan art because you've got a few fan art pieces. You can separate that piece. Oh my gosh, I love that. This is your most impressive. Your lighting here. I don't know if it's just that you had the most amazing reference photo or if you just, I'm not sure what it is, but I love that one. I'm really drawn to that, the contrast and everything there. But anyway, yeah, no, just set that up in a way that looks more professional. Even if you're like, I'm new, I'm not really professional yet, you want to pretend you are. You want to set things up. One of the things that always kind of makes me laugh when, especially with this YouTube drama, I've had comments from people who are like, well, you don't understand. You always had money. And I'm like, or, you know, comments about how much money I have or that I had money at the time when I started. I was below poverty level when I started my YouTube channel. Don't make assumptions that because I figured out pretty early on how to make things appear kind of nice. And even looking back, I don't think they look nice. But you can make things appear to be more expensive than they really are just on how you take a photo. You can take the photo with your cell phone. You take it right, and it can still make that shot like super expensive. Looks like you used really good camera. And then now with all of our phones, they're so advanced. They're better than what they were back then by a lot. You can do a lot with your cell phone. So you can make things look really expensive even when they're not. And you want to play that, I don't want to say play that role because you're still being yourself, but you can present things in a way that appears more professional than you may feel yourself when you're starting out. What is if they say fake it till you make it? Seriously, that's good advice. Work like you already have a big subscriber base. Work and display things in a way that you're going to pretend let's assume like, okay, this video has 23 views and you probably are knowing, okay, when I upload a video, I'm going to get about 20 views in the first week or, first couple of days. Look at it as, let's pretend 1,000 people are going to see this. 5,000 people are going to see this. Put more work into that. And one of the things that they will tell you a lot with thumbnails too, I actually like a lot of your thumbnails. These are great. So I make it sound like I'm picking this YouTuber apart. I am not. I just get reminded about things. I'm like, oh, and this subject. But I like how you've got your art supplies. I like that you can see it's in a sketchbook. That is an awesome thumbnail there on drawing Glannis. That is great. But one of the things, I don't even remember what my point was. We'll come back to it when I remember it. Let's go down to, let's look at this thumbnail. Let's look at some of these descriptions. Drawing Glannis, I'm probably saying that wrong and I apologize because I don't know who it is. Yes, you have their name in it. That's good. What are you drawing it in? Drawing this person in colored pencil. Add colored pencil. That is a search. I get more views from anything that has the term colored pencil than any other medium I work in. You're working in colored pencil, play that up. Watercolor, another good one. See here, I like that you put watercolor painting of a horse. Easy to search. Drawing Sansa Stark in colored pencil. And what are you drawing her in? And make sure you include that information because that's what people are searching. So let's go and look at your descriptions. Yeah, there's not much. So, you did put Drawing Sansa Stark from Game of Thrones with colored pencil. So it's simple. It's to the point. Give us a bit more information. Which colored pencils? Sometimes people search Faber-Castell, Prismacolor. Which colored pencils are you using? Include that. You've got your Instagram, so good job there. Let's see. I would definitely get your description should have more words. You could use write in there what type of paper you're using, or what type of lighting you're using. You can add all of that information in there. Now, looking at your tags, Sansa and Stark being separate doesn't need to. There's no reason to separate those two. I would remove those. That gives you room for more tags because we do have a limit. Game of Thrones, good. Drawing, good. Colored pencils, good. Which colored pencils? Or you could even put time-lapse demo. While I say it's not searched that much, it is somewhat searched and you've got so much space to fill here. You've got a lot of tag room. You might put time-lapse or speed drawing. Fan art, that is a good description to use in your tags. I wouldn't necessarily use fan art in the title, maybe in your description, but those are things to keep in mind. Now, one thing I do want to tell you guys about fan art, you've got to watch. It worries me about YouTube right now that everyone's been fine with it. And some, like Game of Thrones used to always encourage fan art until they then tried to, or threatened to sue a little girl, like a 12-year-old girl, because she used the term winter is coming on something that had nothing to do with Game of Thrones. You see situations like that, and I'm like, I've drawn a lot of stuff in Game of Thrones because they encouraged us to. They that's cross promotion for them. But you could get a copyright strike. They technically could come see this and go, meh, copyright violation. You just got a strike on your account. That hurts. So just think about that if doing fan art is worth it to you. And then you've got, artists like Heather Rooney. That's all she does is fan art. That are almost all, I shouldn't say all. She's amazing, but a lot of that is fan art and she's never gotten in trouble for it. So a lot of people are like, well, they do it, so I won't. I don't know that I'm willing to take that risk on my channel. So that's why I've actually pulled a lot of my fan art off. some of it's still there, but a lot of I did. So just kind of keep that in mind when doing fan art. Disney is notorious for going after people for copyright violations. So you just want to, yeah, this one said, Leela said that it was more of a Redbubble thing than HBO. But at the same time, you have to wonder, is anybody going to change? They legally could decide, any company can decide, you know what, we decided we're not cool with fan art anymore, so we don't want you to do it, and we're going to go after anyone who did. They legally have that right, which kind of sucks, but they, you know, when somebody said it was cool and then they're like, no, it's not cool, just keep that in mind. But whether or not that's worth it to you or not. I'm not saying it shouldn't be, I'm just saying keep it in mind. So yeah, we want to definitely get some more descriptions. That's a big deal. One thing, it was funny because back when we were having problems, the last YouTube thing that affected a lot of people was when YouTube stopped sharing their videos and people are like, well, my videos aren't getting viewed anymore. Okay, now YouTube did make changes that hurt us all. But the thing is, a lot of those people who were saying they're not getting seen anymore, they had no description. How is YouTube supposed to know? Like, I was looking at a person's channel the other day that wrote, "This thing's amazing." That was the title. The video was showing a device that cut fruit or something that was actually pretty cool. I might have looked for something like that if she would have put it in the title, but she titled the thing, "This thing is amazing." I would have never searched for that because you didn't tell me what it was. That it's amazing. I'm just looking at that and going, that's clickbait. Which it actually kind of was. That's not beneficial. Not that that's what you're doing here, but just all these ideas. And just a reminder, guys, when I'm like kind of being critical, don't do this, do this. I don't mean the person who's on screen is doing it. I'll see one thing that reminds me of something else I saw from somebody else. So that should get you going a few bits there. Let's take a look at another. Sarah makes art. Now, Sarah has gotten a lot better with her thumbnails. I've known of Sarah for quite a while. Sarah, let's go to her videos. So let's look at your thumbnails because that's one of the things that stands out a lot. Now, one thing, see how you're using the same thumbnail for everything or the same image? It's exactly the same every time and you're reusing the same one again and again. I would definitely say change that up. So, and then like this one here, using a reference photo, what a difference it can make. Okay, I like your description. That is good. Your video title, that's a good one. Now, what I might change, okay, this is a bit of a problem. Look at your what a photo, and then you've got your mark here, and then there's no space here. That might make it hard for YouTube to search because photo and what just turned into one thing. I'm not sure if that would affect it. But I don't know that you necessarily need yourself in a lot of these thumbnails. I think because I can't see what it's about, like this one. What if you mix the wrong color? I'm more interested in seeing what's off to the side than seeing your face. That sounds mean. That's not what I mean at all. You are beautiful. I'll see you in the video. But in this case, sometimes it's good to have yourself in the thumbnail, and sometimes I think it's almost more useful to focus on what the video is going to be than on you, because it's a bit like here. In order to force yourself in, your little like with reference photo without has to be super tiny. I'd rather see those big. And the other thing, if you look at, see how you're using this light blue with white? That's actually hard for a lot of people to read, that color combination. I would change that background to like dark gray would work, or a dark blue, like navy blue would be a lot easier to read. But these are so similar. Yeah, and this is what Claudia Sketches said, who totally right. The problem with the thumbnails looking similar is that somebody, at least at a glance, may think they've already seen your newest video. Exactly. That really sums it up very, very well. So definitely change the thumbnails, and I think you can do this without yourself being there. I don't even mean just go and take a new photo of yourself in a new pose each time. I think for a lot of these, you can just remove yourself and make the point of the video bigger, which will get more views. And then again, that light blue and light white, that's redundant. Those are definitely hard to see. So you want to think about that with the contrast. So here, like this thumbnail, we've got the Liquitex Basics. I can see that. That's cool. Student brand paints, are they horrible? That's a catchy title. That's good. This rest, I can hardly read these. Should I use these? But the font is kind of weird. It's smushed really small because you've got to think what looks good on your computer when you're editing the photo. You've got to think of it in a thumbnail, which is hard to see. Sometimes I fail at it too. Again, I'm not saying I'm an expert. Please don't go to my channel and go, I'm going to copy everything Lisa did because she knows what she's talking about. I make some bad choices sometimes. But I mean, you can use it as an idea. What I recommend you guys do, go to any channel that's doing well. look at their thumbnails, look at their descriptions, and see what you can copy about that. Now, you will occasionally have channels that violate every, like, what is the word? Best practice, like the best practices. They violate every single one and they still grow. It happens because sometimes they build up this huge fan base because of their content, and it happens. Don't follow that. Don't follow the sensationalized, like, amazing painting. No one's going to look for that. No one's looking for amazing painting. No one's searching that term. Colored pencil, how to draw in colored pencil, someone's searching that. That's a highly searched tag. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, definitely with these thumbnails, I think we can adjust these so that I can see better what is going on. I think you could probably remove yourself from almost every single one of these. Focus on, so here, working on, you've got a lot where you're doing this. Working with oil pastels, my experience and demo. I'd get a good photo of those oil pastels and some of your work. That is what's going to draw people in more. And it's going to look a lot more professional. It's going to attract more people. Those are my biggest tips there. About, let's see. Oh, good. You've got here's a good example for your description. You have, want to take up painting and drawing. I teach and encourage beginning artists by sharing my experience. Good. You've got a good description there. I like it. Your first sentence gets to the point. That's good. You've got your contact information. I don't know that you need your birthday on there. I would probably take that off for security reasons. It's a little too much information, but that's good. Let's see. You've got your links over here. Okay, so here, see, this is what I was talking about before with the Twitter. You've got that little earth icon. Go in and edit. Make sure Twitter does not have HTTPS. You want to remove that S. Or if you've got www, remove that. Changing those, one of those two should fix that for you so you get the proper icon. But good, you've got this. I would definitely, I can't read most of this. I want to help you bring out your creativity. I love what you say, but I can't read it, and so it's being lost. So I would get the light blue is kind of a bad color. Just, it's hard to read even if you wrote black on that, it's kind of hard to read. It's just a weird color for reading text against. I would change that. Dark blue, like navy blue, would be so much better. And then work with the font a little bit so that that's a little easier to read. But I like that you're up against, a solid color. I would just change what that solid color is in this case. So you're off to a good start there. Let's see. Say Yonti Fine Arts, and I apologize for everyone whose name I butcher. That is a cute photo. Oh, I like your header. It just makes me happy because you're adorable. Okay. Say Fine Arts. That's good. I'd like to see if you can at least one. I like that it's a photo of you, but it'd also be kind of cool if I could either see maybe a little bit of art supplies maybe faded into the background like I did with the colored pencils on some, or a sample of your artwork, like mush this font together and have one image, maybe like a little Polaroid looking thing of one of your paintings or drawings. So people look at that and go, okay, I know this person's good. I can see what she does right off the bat. You need a channel trailer. So there's point number 1 for yours. Let's see. And seriously, so many of you guys submitted to this. I know I'm not going to reach most of these today. I would like to go through more in the future though, because I get excited, and I had a hard time sleeping last night because I was so excited to come talk to you guys, because these are such little easy things to change. They're really going to make a difference for you. So I was just so excited to tell you guys about, or talk to you guys about these. Okay. So I like how to stay motivated on your small YouTube channel. That's a nice title. And right now, that's super relevant. Good. That's awesome that you're posting something that's relevant to right now, something that people are really upset about, and something, it looks kind of cool. You might want to do something more with like a YouTube icon or something like that could be included on that. The font is really small when you get down to this oil painting time. Okay, and then you have oil painting time lapse. What did you do in this video? Let's go take a look. So hopefully we've got some tips. Sharing how you stay motivated. Okay, so you're combining both. That makes sense why you have the artwork. Yours is a combination oil painting and motivation. Perfect combination. That's a nice thing to do. That's cool. So, okay, that makes sense to me on why you have that. This is hard to read on a thumbnail though, so it's almost not even worth doing. Same thing. All you need to know, this font's really hard to read, so that would be another one I might consider adjusting, but I like the image. I like all of your paper showing, but it's really hard to read that font in a thumbnail, so I would work on figuring out how to either not even include, it's possible, and in many cases just leave out the font would be better than having it hard to read. It makes it look more professional that way, and then they can read your description. Your descriptions are great. How to paint really easy, realistic bubbles and water. Love it. Love the description. It's easy. It gets to the point. You've got your example there. You might throw a couple of, instead of having the text, because the text is the only thing, it's like the artwork looks super professional, but the way that the text is lining up it doesn't match up as much as looking as clean as the rest of it. So you might want to adjust that. And instead of even having that, you could have a paintbrush sitting there or whatever you used. Let's actually take a look at your descriptions. At least get it to load. Oh, cute little intro. How long is your intro? Let's find out. 3, 4, 5. This is bad. 6, bad. 7. Okay. Your intro, way too long. You just lost a lot of people right there. If people have to wait, we have a very low, like you may think I'm willing to wait. Like when I go to a channel, I'll wait through it. Maybe you will, but most won't. And so shorten that up. Oh, I like your smile though. You look happy. Shorten up that intro. Anything over 5 seconds is too long. People don't want it. And it's better. This is one thing that I've definitely found. I've changed it. It was recommended by a lot of people. I went through and changed it. And sure enough, do a teaser. Instead of starting out with your intro where it's like, okay, when is this video going to start? Start out by, today I'm going to be showing you how to paint realistic and easy water droplets. And then go into, if you want to have your intro there, you can have that, and then go into the video. But you need to have that first. You've got 5 seconds to get people's attention. You just spent 7 losing them. So you went beyond, I mean, you got no one's attention by just starting with your name. So yes, you want to brand yourself, but don't do it here. This is the wrong location to put an intro. You almost always want to start with a teaser of, this is what I'm doing today. And then you can do that if you're going to have, and a lot of people are getting rid of their intro altogether. I'm leaving mine, but I'm reworking mine so that it's a little bit more interesting to watch. Like I'm really excited. I'm going to try filming for my acrylic painting where I'll have the camera angle under a jar of water and you'll see the brush rinsing out. I'm going to try that. I don't know if it's going to work, but I mean, try to get something that's at least a little bit more interesting to look. The term that I keep hearing from a lot of experts is, and not just in this, anything to do with the internet, create eye candy, create something that visually, I mean, artists, we're visual people. We want to create that interest that draws us in. That's the type of our audience, our target market are going to be drawn to the visual. We want to have things moving and try to create stuff like that. So colorful, bright and colorful. That would be good. So like even with this, let's go back. This, I think you could redesign that and make it way better. It could be one of your paintings. It could be something, if you can find something that moves. There are a lot of free, if you look up animated, what would you look up? Animated logos and stuff like that. There are sites where they'll have free ones where you can just put in your name and they'll animate it for you. Sometimes they'll charge a couple dollars depending on like how fancy you want. Some are free, but something that moves would be better than a static image because we're on video at this point. So in this case, that would be my suggestion there. And let's see when we get started, how long does it take you to announce what you're doing? You're quiet, but you're happy. I love that you're smiling. Here's the thing. Smile in your videos. Cianti is doing a great example. Oh my gosh, look how happy she makes. It makes me happy to look at her face because she's happy. So include that, but the one tip I'd have, your voice is very calm. You might want to be, I mean, you don't have to be as obnoxious as I am, but you might want to be a bit, raise your voice a bit. Try to talk a little bit louder so it's easier for people to see that. Good. You told them, okay, it took 19 seconds of the video before you said what you were doing. Try to get to that point. Like I said, get that at the very beginning so you don't lose people. You have to remember with YouTube, people, again, with the short attention span that people have, you want to get to that point as quickly as you can. You want to get to the content they want to see or be entertaining them somehow. So just keep that in mind, giving them information right away. Don't spend too long introducing the when, the why, the how, the that. Get as quickly as possible into the information that they're going to want. So in this case, what medium you're using, what you're painting on, I like that you suggested it was a request for your viewers because it lets them know that you're listening to them, you're connecting with them. That's good. But let them know, what brushes you're using. Get to the point of what you're going to be doing a lot quicker. that will help you, because I'd be interested in seeing what your abandonment rate is on some of these videos, because I suspect that you get people that will click on it and it quickly drops. If you look at your channel analytics, and that is something I strongly recommend doing regularly, if you look at your analytics, if people get in there and they're dropping off after 5 seconds, that lets you know you've got to rework the way that your layout is so that you can present it in a way that keeps them watching as long as possible. What YouTube is concerned with right now more than anything else is it seems to be watch time. More than views, more than subscriber count, more than anything, it's watch time. They've been pushing this for a while. How long are people watching your content? You need to keep them on that channel as long as possible. If they watch your video and they drop off right away, YouTube says, this person, people aren't interested in this video, I'm not going to suggest it. It's not going to get pushed. One of the problems that people are having right now, they're saying that if a channel doesn't have monetization, it doesn't get suggested as much. I personally don't believe that that's really, I'm not saying they might not change it, but right now I'm not seeing that. What's happening mostly, people aren't monetizing. The videos that aren't monetized are either it's a newer YouTuber or something that YouTube doesn't want to push for some other reason, but not because of it not being monetized. Usually it's because they're newer and their content isn't quite yet polished enough to where a lot of people are watching long term. In this case, they may have dropped off in that first 5 seconds just because the intro was like, I get let's move. Let's get past the static image into you talking. So in that case, YouTube sees that dropping off. They're not sharing the content. They're not sharing it not because you're not monetized. That wasn't even relevant. They're not sharing it because people are dropping off the video too fast. And not enough people are paying attention to their analytics to see where those drop-offs are. So just definitely be aware of that. It's kind of like an example I keep using. People are saying, well, my video's not going to get watched because it doesn't have monetization. No, that's not necessarily why. It may be because you're getting this high drop-off rate because of another reason. It's like if you come into my house and I punch you in the face and you go, oh my gosh, you just punched me because I'm wearing a blue shirt. Yeah, you're wearing a blue shirt, but I punched you in the face because you broke into my house. The blue shirt was not actually relevant to why I got angry. So, and that may be the case, I think, with a lot of people. And I'm not saying you, because Cianta's not said any of that. But I'm seeing viewers, I'm seeing it with gamers mostly, who are like, YouTube, my video's not monetized, so YouTube's not sharing it. No, YouTube's not sharing it because people were abandoning the video so quickly. You didn't do a good enough job. And that sounds mean, but I mean, honestly, if you're not doing a good enough job of keeping people's attention, they're going to abandon. And I don't do a good enough job half the time. I'm not saying I'm the best, I know all the things. I'm saying I understand why people abandon it, and it's not necessarily because monetization weren't there. So let's go ahead. I want to see something really quick. So I can understand your speaking when you start doing the voiceover. One thing you want to watch, and I wanted to see if yours did it. Yours isn't bad. I've seen a lot where the talking is super loud and then they get into the voiceover and it's super quiet, or the other way around. Watch your audio levels. Check that to where your audio stays as even as possible. Like there was one channel, it was a beauty channel I saw, where they were talking, I'm watching it, and then they did their intro, they went into the video promotion, like intro thing with the music and all of that, blew my eardrums out. They did not balance their audio, so it was like quiet talking. Oh my god, make the sound stop. They're yelling it. The music is like blaring, and then they go, so you turn your video down really quick, and then they go back into talking, and now my audio is too low because they didn't do their work in editing properly. So now again, yours is actually pretty close. It's not too far. You do want to stabilize that audio a little bit better, or equalize the audio a bit better, so that there's not much change in volume. But I've seen some where it was like, you really want to watch that, where it's not, quiet, really loud, quiet, really loud. That will make someone click off a video. So you check your own. I know I'm not checking everyone's video, so you guys check your own work and see if that's something that you're having happen, because that will lead to a very high abandonment rate. An abandonment rate is basically when you get someone to click on a video and then either an ad pops up. This is why I say smaller channels, don't put ads on your videos anyway. You're better off not. To start with, you're better off growing faster by not having ads, because that abandonment rate is high. And I've seen people argue, no, it's not really that. Yes, it is. Look at the analytics, how quickly people will click off the channel. There are some exceptions. So there's always going to be exceptions to everything. But when you look at across the industry standards, where that abandonment rate happens, those ads do. And especially on a smaller channel, it's already too hard to get the views. You don't want to shoot yourself in the foot even further by creating more of an abandonment rate. So let's go ahead and take a look at another channel. Now, oh, that was the other thing I was talking about. Make sure you smile in your videos. Make sure you're coming across as happy. People want positive. People don't want to see, I've got an attitude today because this didn't go my way. So here, you're just going to have to deal with my attitude and we'll just get on to the tutorial. I've honestly seen people act that way. So don't do that. People want to be encouraged and motivated and excited, and that's what you want to focus on. Okay, so Kathleen, I actually want to see if yours gets cut off because this is nice. You've got this nice dark blue for your header. You've got the images, look really cool, easy to read. I like it, but I'm a little bit worried that this may get chopped off on mobile devices. So let's see. We are looking at Kathleen. Make sure I spell that right. Kathleen. I did this earlier. I was looking for another Kathleen. Kathleen. Wow, I've got a bunch of suggestions for different Kathleens. I forget who it was. I was looking up theirs, and my phone changed it to like catheter or something. Thank you, autocorrect. Legyle. Okay, let's look and see if yours gets chopped off or not. Yep. So when I go to your channel, don't know if you can see that, your name is being chopped off. You want to adjust your dimensions there on a mobile device. I can't see the coolness. Now your images are actually okay. Part of your deer is getting chopped off, but not a lot. These ones off to the side over here get chopped off, but that's actually okay because then on a big screen they show. So that's totally fine. You've got a bit of a weird balance going though. When you look at it on full screen, it feels heavy here. So we talk about composition. When I look at this, I feel like your header would be leaning weight-wise to this side. So I would probably drop this side out. These are great. These four are great. You might want to scoot this over a little bit, but this needs to come in a lot because that's getting, stop touching your monitor, you're shaking it. It's going to get cut off on mobile devices. So you want to go ahead and download that template and rework your design. Same thing, you don't have a channel trailer. So step number one, make one of your videos. Hey, look, it's my video. Videos that help me. See, this is a cool thing to do. This is one thing that you can do to add more content to your channels when you don't have a lot of videos yet. Kathleen is genius. She's got videos that help me. Made a playlist, graphite powder drawing tips, realistic drawing, Derwent battery eraser, Prismacolor, my video, Q&A, how to mount your prints. This is good. This makes her channel more interesting to people to want to subscribe to, even though it's not her content. Believe it or not, it works. Get something on there. So let's see. How many videos do you have? Okay, you've only got 2 right now, so get to creating. Do the same thing I'm always telling Joseph Fincham, make more videos. You're an awesome artist. Make more videos for us to see. So, and you're just getting started, but at the same time, 1 year and 4 months, definitely you want some more stuff on there. If you want it to grow, you've got to create content. Now, ideally with content, you want to get on a schedule. I'm not currently on a schedule and it's not really affecting me now, but I already have built up a bunch of people who are aware of the channel already, or a bunch of subscribers. Earlier on, it is so important. Try to commit to a video once a week at minimum. Even if that's you talking about, this is what I'm going to work on. Maybe it's just an artist vlog. If nothing else, it's you getting used to talking on camera because, that was the hardest. That was one of the things I struggled with most, being myself on camera, because when you're sitting in a room talking to yourself, it feels awkward. You have to get to the point where you realize, no, I'm talking to you guys, and then it makes it easier. But it took me years before I was comfortable on camera. I was the most awkward person in the world. It was bad. But you want to start doing something. You could film with art supplies. Like, did you go shopping for art supplies today? Here's what I picked up. Here's what I liked. Here's why I liked it. You can start getting used to it. You can delete those videos later if you want. That's fine. It's not going to hurt you. But get used to making them. Get used to all of these things now. So those are things that you can definitely be working on. You've got your website off here. Oh, good. You've got your good Twitter thing is already done right. You look like everything's pretty good. Creating content is going to be the big thing for you at this point. Let's see. Yeah, that's nothing there. Let's look at your about. Pretty good. So, okay. This is a good description. I like that you've got all of your places where people can find you. The thing I would change is I would do your first sentence as, what is the point of your channel? What value does your channel bring to the viewer? You've got to convince people why they want to watch you. So that's kind of what I would do there, is why. What is it that makes you awesome? What makes you different from anybody else? What value are you going to provide to them? One mistake that I think a lot of people make is they kind of seem to think of YouTube is supposed to be providing like YouTube should provide me the value. You guys provide me the value. No, you won't grow that way. What value can I give you? That's how you grow. If you're not helping other people, you know, if you're not providing content that they find valuable, a lot of people are flipping that around. A lot of people right now I'm seeing. It's that YouTube, you know, the community owes me, not what can I give to the community. Flip your thinking there, and it'll make it easier for you to figure out what type of content to produce that will help your channel to grow. Let's see. I'm not really doing a Q&A at this point because I want to go through these, but let's see if there's... this is a good question from Eric. Wants to know, how often should I post a video on my channel? Ideally, minimally once a week. Now, what I did, because I signed up with an MCN, and I'm not recommending you guys run out and do that by any means. I've been mediocrely somewhat happy with mine. There were things that they taught me because you didn't have when I signed up with my MCN. They're the ones who taught me a lot of what I learned about getting my channel growing. There were no videos or no, you know, video creators didn't exist back then. So I didn't know what to do, and I needed that. So there are things that I like, but when you see people contact you, you know, sign up for I'm with Studio 71, you know, sign up with Studio 71. They don't tend to be spammy. There's other ones that are really spammy. Don't run up and sign up with them because they take a portion of your YouTube income. They're not going to teach you anything that video creators can't. They're not, they'll say, well, we're going to get you collaborations. No, they're really not. None of them, that's one thing that kind of made me mad about mine. We're going to help do this. We're going to help do that. They didn't do any of that they promised. They've done other things that I have liked, but that was not one of them. But anyway, point is, when they contact you, because you will start getting contacted by them trying to get you to sign up, I don't normally recommend it. There are things that I like about it, but it's not totally necessary. Okay, there was another point I was going to make. I don't remember what it was. But I think we're good. Oh, schedule. That's right. The timing. So mine told me once a week minimum. And I'm like, I can't get a painting done a week. And then I thought, wait, I'm a professional artist. If I can't get something, even a small painting done a week, then maybe I want to rethink my career choice. If you want to be a YouTuber, once a week. I know that's hard. And when you're starting out, you can do less, but until you start doing a minimum, getting on a schedule, you're not going to grow like you otherwise would. And I hear from people, well, I can't because reasons. We've all got reasons. If you want to do something, you have to put in a certain amount of work to do it. And I'm telling you, that is one of the things that you've got to do. Get a video once a week. You will not grow very fast. You will always be a part of what it seems like a lot of the YouTubers, like, again, going back to the gaming community, we're a part of the small YouTube community. You're saying that in a way that makes me think you want to stay small. And if you want to stay small, keep doing what you're doing. I mean, what is it they say? If you always do what you always did, you will always get what you always got. If you want to improve, you're going to have to change things. If you want to grow, you're going to have to do other things. So yes, minimum, I would say once a week. Once every other week, at the very, very least, but once a week would be better. The more you post, the more chance you have. You're putting more out there in the world for people to find you, more potential. And you're also getting better at video editing. You're getting better. Your first editing videos or editing job is probably going to be terrible. Heck, I've been doing this for years. Mine are still technically terrible. You're going to get better with time, but you've got to start somewhere, and you're not going to get better if you don't start making those videos. So yes, once a week I would say would be minimum. If you want to grow. If you're doing it for fun and you don't care about growing, then you just upload whenever you want, you have fun. That is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're trying to grow your channel, you really want to make money from doing this, get on that schedule. Yeah, Sarah Makes Art says, I've seen some videos that are very critical of MCNs. Yeah, I've done some pretty shady stuff. I've mostly been happy with mine, but not so much. Here, Bernie Draws has an interesting question. How would you deal with mental health and constant uploads? My mother's cancer prognosis has been affecting my energy, and I haven't wanted to record the last 2 weeks. I'm probably not the person to go to because it's not something that I struggle with. What I would recommend is seeing if you can find somebody else who struggles with that and see what they do. Sometimes, for me, making videos when I was stressed, when bad things in my life were going on, the easel is where I turned. That's where I found my comfort. So that's not the case for everybody though, and I know that. So it'd be nice if you could find somebody who's going through what you're going through. They may be able to give you some better tips, but everyone's going to deal with it differently. For me, that's just kind of where I always turn to when I was dealing with depression, when I was dealing with different things, when I was stressed out. The easel is what fixes everything for me. But like I said, everybody's going to be different. So you've got to figure out what is going to be best for you. When I was stressed, when I was on a schedule, made it easier for me because it didn't matter if I was stressed. I had to have that video out that Wednesday. And no matter what was going on, if I had a cold, if I was sick, if I didn't feel good, if I was having anger issues at somebody, I was in a fight with my husband. That doesn't happen often, but it has happened like, I can only think of that happening once since I've been making videos where we were mad at each other and I was like, that's distracting and I don't want to work. And like distracting enough that I didn't want to work anyway. I'm not saying we're, always loving each other. Sometimes we get angry, but not often. But the big ones where you're like, I'm so angry at this person right now, I just don't want to work. The easel's kind of where I want to turn anyway. So that, again, that's me. I knew I had to get that video out. It didn't matter that I was angry at him or he was angry at me right now. It made no difference. That video had to go up. And so that for me made a difference. I don't know if that's going to help your specific situation. So let's go on to another channel. Yeah, we're going to have to wrap this up soon. So we'll go with Elise really quick. Oh, that actually worked. It just took me off that page. Okay, I like your header, except it doesn't fit. Most of this is going to get chopped off, like I was saying. Well, what's weird is most of it's going to get chopped off, and then you chopped off some. So this is definitely when I would redesign. Like, see how the bird, here's a beautiful, that bird, I can tell right now, that's a gorgeous piece just by seeing his wings and his belly. That's all I can see. I can't see his face. The clouds, I can tell you are an amazing artist, but it's getting chopped off. You really want to rework your header there. Good. You've got your links over here, link to Patreon. Nice. Everyone knows where they can find you. And it's not that the images are bad. I even like that they're actual, like the Polaroid with the text underneath. I love the concept of your design here. It's just that it doesn't fit the YouTube template. So you need to, and it may have used to, but it doesn't now. They changed something fairly recently. So that would definitely be something you want to change. Your thumbnails look pretty good. I like the purple and yellow. That's bright, eye-catching, complementary colors. So that looks nice. How many videos do you have? What? Okay. Oh my gosh, and there's more. They just keep coming. You have so many videos, but when I go to your homepage, we're missing a few major things. One, where is your channel trailer? You've got so many videos. At least make one of those your channel trailer, even if you don't want to make one. Next is get some more. Oh wait, okay, here we go. Playlist. I see them now. I think I wasn't loading them. I'm an idiot. You have playlists. You're good. The thing I would change here, though, is what I was talking about earlier on. So you've got all horizontal, make some vertical. Get variation in there. It makes it more like, so your eye kind of moves around a little bit better, other than it just all being listed. So that's good. Time-lapse commentary, art tips, little tips here and there. That looks fun. Your photos look nice. Now, one of the things that I do, what I was talking with Sarah too, yours are easier to see because it's the yellow on purple and it's an easy font to read. So you're good there. But like, look at how you're positioned. So you're cutting off part of your face by this instead of moving that image further over if you wanted your face included. But does your face need to be included on that thumbnail? Would it be better? So here's a video, art tip, how I clean my airbrush. Would it be better to have a photo of the airbrush being disassembled, where the parts are away, or just even the airbrush and paint would be a much better thing than having your face. That's going to draw more people because they're going to see the airbrush. That's what they're interested in. That is what I would change. I would go through and honestly change almost all these thumbnails. I love that you're smiling and you look happy. So that makes me happy and does make me kind of want to watch the video just because I like happy. So that's good. But let's see, how to gesso a canvas. Art tip, what is gesso? Okay, now that I would potentially change the title on. Art tip, what is gesso? I like how you have written on there how to gesso a canvas. I think people would be more likely to search for than what is gesso. Maybe. I don't know. I can play around with it. That's a 2-year-old video, so you don't know. I don't know that I'd go back to videos that old and make many changes. These are just the ones that I'm seeing on the front page. But let's see. We've got digital painting. That looks good. I like that. The picture of your art and then the text that's really easy to read, even when small. The main ones I'm seeing are on these vlogs where you've got your face. I think you'd be better off to show the airbrush, to show the art supply, to show the thing you're talking about. Like this one here, how I clean my color palette. It's so tiny. And here's another thing you always want to remember when you're making thumbnails. The time is in the bottom right-hand corner. So when you've got text right here and the time, I can't see the rest of that. So you don't want to, if you look at my thumbnails, notice how I've started, because I used to do that too. Notice how most of my thumbnails, the text, if I put text, it's in the upper left-hand corner. It's not getting blocked. Time down here. You want to keep that. Now here's a bad one. This is terrible. I have my text down here and it's being covered by the time. So there's one of mine where, here's another one that I did badly. I should redo these thumbnails. I actually might on some of these. It's blocked by the time, and now I can't see how to make white lines in colored. In colored what? I mean, okay, yeah, I can read here, but it would be better off colored pencil. That's popular. I want that to see. I screwed that up badly. That needs some help. I have a feeling I'm going to be adjusting that thumbnail sometime soon. So, but now my newer ones, if you look at how I've been doing, see how they're up in this corner where it's not going to get, the text isn't being cut off by that timestamp. So those are things that I would adjust there. Your names, let's see. Malaysian Beauties, episode 1, Crested Serpentine Eagle. What is this video? I'm curious. Let's take a look really quick. Again, 2 years ago. So this is an older one. So it's artwork. Talking about artwork. Now here's one thing that I'm working on myself and I struggle with. I'm bad at camera angles and I do it. I don't even know if I'm doing it right now. I didn't this week in my live stream. I wasn't paying attention. Okay. See how I'm positioned on the camera where it's like here. That is a better camera angle. And like I said, I fail at it. If you look at half my videos, I am not positioning myself right. And that's something that I'm working on fixing, even though I totally screwed it up on last week's live stream. See how your head is little on the bottom half and you've got this big gap. I know that your artwork is there, but what would look better is if you move yourself here off to the side and pull your artwork in this section and then zoom in so you're not cropped the little on the bottom half. That would be way, way better. I'm trying to see. Okay, so you're showing this. The reason that I'm looking through this, I'm like, I don't understand based on the title what this video is about. That alone tells me this needs to be reworked into something that somebody might search. No one's searching Malaysian beauties. Okay, they might be, but it's probably not for what you think it is. They aren't necessarily searching Crescent Serpent Eagle. If you're talking about the art, you might change that to art chat, art talk, art, you know, something that somebody's searching. You always want to think about that when you're coming up with your titles. Is somebody going to search for this? If that's not a term that somebody's typing into the computer, you don't need to use it on your description. And again, this is something I fail at massively. Don't use me as an example of what to do right, because that is something I am absolutely having to work on myself. I don't know why that's so hard for me. Like, I know what you're supposed to do, and then I go to do it, and it's like, fail. Whatever. So I get the frustration and the challenge in coming up with titles. Trust me. Okay, your description. Hello, fellow viewers. Nope, cut that out. That doesn't need to be there. You just took up a huge amount of real estate when people are scrolling through, and then you've got the rest of that space for that line doesn't show up. Leave out hello, fellow viewers. This is a video about the information I managed to research and put into clips about the Crested Serpent Eagle, which can be found. That's fine. Just pull out the hello, fellow viewers. Okay, the rest actually looks okay. Your titles, okay. That seems okay. But I would definitely get rid of hello, fellow viewers. You don't need to include that. I know that you're trying to be friendly, but you're friendly in your video. Like, look at even where I have it paused. You're like talking and you're still smiling. You're friendly. You don't need to be that friendly. There is a line. Let's see. When you think about, this is a good question. Megan asks, or she, good response question, whatever. Think, what would you search for? What words would you use? Exactly. This is what I have to do to myself. When I'm typing in a video, I'm like, okay, I painted a video of an elephant, an acrylic painting of an elephant. How to paint an elephant? That might be a search term. Painting Asian elephants walking in the mist with music, with, you know, you get to the point where there's so much, these aren't necessarily walking in the mist. No one's typing in Asian elephants walking in the mist. That's more information than I needed to include. And I'm pretty sure I still have that video listed that way. But that is more than I need to include. You really think about how you have those worded and if that's something somebody is searching for. And I love it because I think you guys, everything I'm seeing, you guys have good content. It's just these little tweaks should really, really, really help you. So that is looking good. Just again, figure out the size. I'm going to look at one more and then wrap it up for today. But I think this would be a fun thing. If this is, let me guys know after this if this is something you want to see more of, because I know it gets to a point where I'm just rehashing the same information. But if it's something that you guys are learning from watching what I say about others, let me know and we'll let people keep doing that and we'll do it in the future. Okay. Ooh, I like your header. Okay, a few things here. Your header, bright colors, beautiful work, good contrast. I like this. You might want to put that you're an artist there though. I mean, you can see when you look down here, there's art because you jump in. You do have a channel trailer. Good for you. And when you guys do a channel trailer, don't type in welcome to my channel. That's another thing. Get rid of that. You don't need that. Just quickly go into what the channel is. What value are you going to provide to them? Why should they subscribe to you? What is it you've got that they need? That's what you want to think about. If we look at Brooke Price, I like your name. It is a nice name. I'm a little jealous. Looking at that, Brooke Price Fine Art might be a better way to go. Changing some of that, maybe your better choice for, again, like I was saying before, you comment in somebody else's video. Let's say you're active, which ideally you would be. I'm really bad at that. I try to do better commenting on stuff. But let's say you go to Leela in the studio. Let's say you go to her channel, and I don't know if she has a channel, but let's say you go to her channel. Now, Leela in the studio, I would click on that because Leela in the studio, that sounds like art. That sounds like something I might be interested in. Brooke Price just sounds like a viewer name. It doesn't necessarily sound like a YouTube creator. I don't know what you're doing. So in this case, Brooke Price Fine Art, Brooke Price Art Tutorials, that'd be a good one. Think about what people see when you comment on other videos, because that's going to drive more traffic back to you. Your thumbnails are beautiful. I can't see the blue writing though. That's the only thing. Your font, it's interesting to look at. Like, it's visually appealing, except for the fact that I can't read it. So visually appealing and not helpful. Pembleby said, are affiliate links in the description a good way to still make a few pennies without having them? Absolutely. I was talking about that earlier. If you're working with Prismacolor colored pencils, if you can have a link, hey, you guys can buy these pencils too over at Amazon. Here's my affiliate link. There's where you're making up your money. Now you can make up the money you lost from monetization. If that's something that really upset you, losing that money, you will make more off your affiliate links. This is a way better way to go. And Amazon, it was pretty easy for me to sign up. I don't know if they have certain thresholds or anything to sign up, but it's definitely a goal to look into. I should do more research on that for you guys. But I've been using it for a while. I originally used it because my MCN signed us up with it, but then my MCN took 30%, so I got rid of their link and made my own. I signed up for myself with Amazon affiliate links, and I love it. I mean, I make you can right away make a decent amount of money if you're letting people know I've got links to the supplies I'm using in the description. Now, I'm not trying to push it too hard, like go buy this book. Like the video yesterday, I showed two books I love by Aliona Nicholson. Now, I only push stuff and tell people about it if it's something that I genuinely like. I'm not one to try to sell something for the sake of selling it, because I think you start turning it into a sleazy used car salesman, and that's not what I personally want to do. I only recommend the things that I actually am using or telling you about. So let's say in your case, let's pretend it's Prismacolor colored pencils. Oh, you're an oil painter. Let's go with oil paint. Let's say you use Winsor & Newton. You can link to Winsor & Newton over on Amazon with your affiliate link. And anytime someone clicks that link, even if they don't shop, even if they got to Amazon because of that link and they were like, I don't really want to buy that paint, but oh crap, I need to buy a vacuum cleaner. Let's go buy one of those. You get credit on a percentage of the vacuum cleaner, just because they followed your link. Now, the downside to this is leading to what YouTube looks at as kind of like a user abandonment rate. If someone leaves your channel, your video, to go somewhere else, YouTube is like, not looking so hot. That's not a good thing. They're not a huge fan of that. But so that is a negative side of it. You have to decide if early on, if that is worth it to you, because it's not that it hurts your current subscribers or people watching the video initially, like having an advertisement on it does. But YouTube really doesn't like when you send people off their platform either. So you could be penalized for that. So you have to decide really which is more important at that point. It is just something to be aware of. I don't know that I have the cure-all one right answer. This is the way to do it. You have to decide what's best for you, which is a good fit for you. But I really do like the Amazon affiliate links. So it's just, and I'll show you mine. I have a lot. Actually, yesterday's video had a lot. So let's go ahead and go over to that video. Okay, you stop talking. Lady, you talk too much. Okay, so here are my description. Now, I like to get stars and icons and separate things so that it's a little bit more, it's easier for people to find stuff in groups instead of one long row. Because look at, I mean, there's my description. You guys, your description can be a lot longer than what you're doing. This is where you want to take up your space. So I've got my link to Patreon in this case because of the reference photo. Then my again, Patreon videos because I did a new page. So geez, I've got a lot of Patreon links here. Okay, Brush and Pencil. Now I'm not an affiliate of Brush and Pencil. I just like their products, so I have linked to where people can buy them. That's not benefiting me at all, other than I like her products and I want her to keep selling her products so she keeps making the products so I can keep using the products. That's kind of how that relationship works. Then same thing, Pro Art Panels, not an affiliate link. So see how I don't say that it's an affiliate link because it's not. But when we come down here, and I did even put, because I knew people would think that this was a sponsored video. It's not. So I put on there that it's not a sponsored video. I'm just sharing the stuff that I love. So then we come down here. What did I use? Polychromos. I didn't talk about the Coom long pointed sharpener, but I used it. I didn't talk about the X-Acto school sharpener, but I used it. And so I felt it was worth listing there because if someone looks through my supplies and they're like, hey, I want a sharpener, Lisa uses it, it must be pretty good, I'm going to go ahead and check that out. So, and keep that in mind when you recommend a product. I think that there's a lot of responsibility. Like, it kind of scares me sometimes. Like, okay, I've been using this product for 2 months and I love it, but what if it breaks in 3 months and I've recommended it to people and then I feel guilty? So, kind of keep that in mind when you're recommending stuff. Make sure it's something that you are confident with. Yeah, let's see. Amy says, be careful when talking about your Amazon affiliate links. Roberto Blake had his Amazon affiliate suspended for talking about it. That's interesting. I'm curious what he talked about it. But you legally have to say that it's an affiliate link. Now, I know with Amazon affiliate links, like I can't link them in an email list. I didn't know that until recently. There are certain things that you can't link. And if Amazon did, I could actually use my other, because I have another account with them, because of affiliate links through my network. But hopefully that seems weird. I'm promoting them. I don't know why people are, but you do have to say Amazon affiliate links if you want to follow like legalities there. But then we come down, same thing, books I recommended. So it's stuff that I actually like. My email news list, get an email newsletter going if you can. That's a helpful thing. And then links to my social media. I also come down to the camera, because people always ask me the camera I use, so it's easier if I just put a link in the bottom, and then that's easy. But you have to be, you have to declare that. And I'm not sure. I'm actually going to look into that. I'm curious, Beanie. I keep calling you Bernie for some reason. From a distance, that's what it looks like to me. Beanie. I'm curious what his situation was. I'm going to have to go look that up. I'm really interested. And here's the thing. I don't know everything about all the things. In this case, I didn't know he had that problem. I've got to look into it. But I do know legally you have to be clear and say, hey, this is an affiliate link. I can't just put an affiliate link and not tell you without potentially getting myself in a lot of trouble legally. And I don't mean with Amazon, I mean legally, like the government coming in and going, oh no, you are deceiving people, because there are a lot of laws when it comes to that. You have to be transparent. Like if a video is sponsored, I have to tell you or write in there that it's sponsored. I can't just make it. Fredericks, I have to tell you guys I'm sponsored by Fredericks, even though, yes, I was already going to use their canvases. It made no difference. But I have to tell you that. Otherwise, I'm being shady and I could get myself into legal problems. So I have to always tell you guys. Let's see. Picks by Lee says you have to set up the Amazon affiliate links, put the places you will link from, and the disclaimer, read all the terms, and follow the directions. Yeah, there's all of that you have to do. Let's see. Beanie says all you're allowed to do is declare that it's an affiliate in the description. Yeah, that's all I'm doing. That's all I've done there. But you shouldn't have to do more than that. But it may be, I don't know if you can get in trouble for telling people, hey, when you click on my link, you make me money. That may be where I think Amazon gets a little iffy, because a lot of people will go to like Facebook groups and go, hey, if you're going to shop on Amazon, click my link and it'll make me some money. You don't want to say that, because that's a different type of drive that Amazon doesn't want, but you still have to let people know it's an affiliate link, if that makes sense. I guess it's one where people have to figure out on their own that you make a profit from that. Like I don't actually say that, so that might be where their problem is. Yeah. Let's see. Beanie says, you can also say links in the description below and it's an affiliate link, but that's all saying if it helps this channel is classified as, yes, incentivization according to them. Yes. And that makes sense. I can understand their playing thing on that. So I can't tell you guys, hey, click on my thing and then I make money. You can't say that. Like, help out my channel by clicking my links. That's not right. Even though I'm doing it now, I'm telling you guys what not to do. I'm not sure where that falls, but you can. I'm more honestly, if I lost those links, I wouldn't like it, but I'm more concerned with helping you guys so you guys can get some links. So, yeah, you don't want to start telling your viewers, hey, if you purchase from my links below, you help this channel out. That is a violation of their terms of service. All I can do is in the links, you see how I have affiliate links. That's what you want to do. So yes, read anything you sign up for. Always read the terms of service. Always read, what is my face doing? Why do I have my face? That is just awkward. Let's go. No, no, no. I've got, yeah, that's funny. So anyway, moving on. Let's go back to this, but always remember, read the terms of service of what you're signing up for. YouTube, oh God, YouTube has the worst terms of service. They don't explain things well, and that's why I think this problem was a problem. I don't think it would have been as much of a problem if they would have explained to people, you're not going to lose these, you're still going to have these benefits. They did such a bad job of explaining it to people. And then it got blown out of the water because people were making assumptions about things that weren't true. That upset people, and then those people didn't want to hear the facts. They just wanted to be emotionally just horribly distraught about the whole situation, and it just turned into this snowball thing that was YouTube's fault. That I will tell you, I completely blame YouTube for their lack of watch this video, get demonetized now, for their lack of communication there. So I feel you guys on that. That really was really, really, really bad. Okay, let's see. So this needs more here. How many videos did you have? Okay, yeah, you've got a ton of videos. Get your playlists going. This is either, unless it's just not loading, you don't have playlists here at all. Work on that. Get that so that you've got a list, just like I said for everybody else. Make sure you've got a list of your playlist going. And then when we look at the artwork here, 2017 artwork, I can kind of read that, but a lot of people are going to have, trust me, people will complain. You're going to have a lot of people that have a hard time with that. This has seemed to work really well for me. Like here, Intro to Powder Blender, even this one, YouTube Killing Small Channel, that's hard to read. That's a little bit on the small side in the thumbnail. Luckily here it says the same thing, but just keep that in mind on these smaller ones. Try to use font that's don't get too creative. Try to get font that's very easy for people to read. While it's visually appealing, it's not easy to read, and that is an issue. That's something that you want to watch. But yes, you've got your channel trailer. You need to get playlists going. About page. You're about. Hello, I'm Brooke. I mean, it's a start. It's not helping you at all, but it is a start. Fill that out. Give some information. Let people know why they want to subscribe to you. And that's really what you want to do with your channel trailer too. I mean, right now you can put up any video is better than not having one, but having a channel trailer and having the description of the channel trailer, tell people what value you're offering them. That's how you're making the sale of subscribe. Watch my content. Let them know what it is that makes you awesome. This definitely we have some work on. I like your thumbnails otherwise. It's just, now see here, this is easy. Your artist vlog, I can read that pretty easily. That's a cool thumbnail. You've got your face, you're smiling. So yay for smiling. And I keep bringing that up because it's a big deal. I'm always giving John Middick, my podcast host, I'm always giving him crap for that when we'll be recording. John, smile. I can hear in your voice you're not smiling. At least act like you're having fun right now. This one, here, artist vlog, May 31st. You wrote in I can't even read that. I wouldn't know that said artist vlog if I didn't come down here and see artist vlog. That is, when you look at it small, not really easy. Yeah, definitely work on the thumbnails there. Oil painting time lapse. We are one. Okay, here. Your description here. Oil painting time lapse. Okay. We are one. No one's searching. I don't think anyone's searching for that unless that's like a song. Again, think of titles. No one's usually searching artist vlog April 11th, 2017. That's not really information. What would work better is, what was that artist vlog about? What did you talk about in that artist vlog? Artist vlog, my trip to Michael's and they overcharged me for something because Michael's. My trip to artist vlog. I spilled my paint thinner today. Look at though I fixed it. This is how I had to clean up my mess. Artist vlog. These are the things that are important in my life. What is in your artist vlog? Just artist vlog and the date, not helping you at all. No one is coming across that and finding it. Actually, let's look at your description. Oh, camera, put a tripod. Okay, tip. Artist vlogs. This shaky stuff, I can't watch that. Most people can't watch that. You're going to have to remember, a lot of your fan base are going to be people who are older, who have visual, it's hard for them. I mean, a complaint I've had a lot of older people complain that they can't understand I talk too fast. I get that. There's nothing I can do about it. It's how fast I talk. But I understand where they're coming from too. Here, you're going to have people who can't watch this when you're recording. No, set it down on something. You don't have to have a tripod. Stack up some books and set your easel on. Talk that way. And I feel bad because that's what happens when I record on Instagram when I do videos. I know I'm shaking the camera the whole time. because it's just the way those live streams, I hate that. I actually think I'm going to figure out, yeah, next time I do Instagram, I'm definitely going to figure out a tripod thing. See, we're all always evolving, and you're moving the whole time. This is not great. Your lighting's pretty cool. Your camera looks cool. The angle, just set it down on something. Stack up books, tripod, whatever you want. It's going to be less distracting. When people are, moving constantly, it's very, very distracting. Let's see what your audio sounds like. You went into some music. You're doing a demonstration. That's cool. Let's see. Go back to talking. Oh, good. You're easy to understand. You're clear. Your audio's good. Smile more, I would say. Don't you hate when people tell you that? Smile, you're so pretty when you smile. But really, when you're on camera, I think it makes you a little bit more approachable if you can, when it's appropriate. I mean, I know sometimes it's not. Try to smile a little bit more. That tends to make other people happy too. The music playing in the background, most people are going to find annoying. It's like video game stuff. I get where you're going with it, but it's also, you've got to, now here's the thing about music. Watch, now you're luckily not putting music behind so far when you're talking. That's good. Most people, not a huge fan of music playing while you're trying to talk. There are times I'll do it if your audio is super bad for some reason, and I've had it happen, and the only way I could even use the footage is to kind of put music over it to distract from that, but then people complain about the music. If you use music, make sure if you're talking over it that it's always low enough and calm enough that it's not distracting from what you're saying. But no matter what, most people will tell you don't use music. And even me, I mean, there's videos that I've wanted to watch, and the vlogger, like good vloggers too, will put music behind it. I'm like, I can't do it. It's so annoying and distracting, and either the music irritates me or whatever it is, it makes it hard to listen to. So I try to avoid it whenever possible. Again, there's always going to be times where you just have footage of you talking and it's so bad. The only way to remotely use it and to kind of hide that is to put music. So I get it. I mean, there's a time and place for everything. And that's not what you're doing here. You don't have music over your talking. You have music over the artwork, but the music is a video game type thing that's like, it's going to irritate some people. I would go, if you're going to put music over the work, which I do a lot, or I used to do it a lot, try to go with something that's a little bit calming, kind of relaxing. You're going to have less complaints than video game music, if that makes sense, or video game sounding music. So I like the artist vlog though. I like what you're doing. Food? Are you showing us your food? But what you could do instead of doing artist vlog, whatever you're talking about, and painting demonstration or drawing demonstration, terms that people might search, it's going to make it easier to find you. So that should help. Let's see. Beanie said, wouldn't a tutorial with no music be a bit boring? Or at least for mine. Well, okay, it depends on, is it a tutorial that you're talking through? If I'm giving verbal instruction, music then is bad. If I'm not giving instruction, yeah, put music over it. If it's just the artwork, you're just doing a speed painting, do the art, then yes, absolutely put some music on it. Otherwise, it's just weird when there's nothing. But in a case where you're giving instructions, or people where they're like doing a vlog, and that is not what Brooke is doing here. But when you're doing a vlog and you're talking, like what I'm talking to you right now, if I put music over me talking right now, that is what seems to turn off most people, including me in most cases. So that's what I'm talking about there. Now, let's say I then cut into the artwork and I'm not talking, then put the music there. That's a suitable place for the music. When you start talking again, either drop the music to almost nothing to where it's not distracting, it's not overpowering the voice. I've seen videos. I really wanted to watch the video. I could tell this content was good. I want to say it was for a video editor, actually, like a program, something I was trying to do. And the music was louder than the voice. And I'm like, what do you do? What? I'm like, how did you not notice that was going to be a problem when the music is actually, your levels are so much higher on music than your audio, your verbal voice, that it's just not, one second. It's just not no. Check that. You don't want, just check that. I've seen it. And it was frustrating in that case because it was content I really wanted to watch, but I couldn't. And I wouldn't watch anything else. And then that's the other thing. I'm not going to watch anything else from that person because I'm not going to waste my time, because they did it to me once. They're probably going to do it again. So, I mean, one time of a mistake that big might turn people away. So, watch for that. But if you do music, if you're talking, ideally no music. There are, like I said, sometimes bad audio, and that's just how you have to kind of hide it. But put the music really low if you do, and calm. Not video game, not high drumming, high guitars going crazy, stuff like that. Try to keep it, you know, elevator music. Something that's not super crazy is generally the way to go, depending on the artwork. There's going to be exceptions to all of that. But yeah, it's definitely hard for people to watch. Yeah, Fiverr is a great place. Embrace the Matrix said Fiverr is a great place to get logo designs for video intros. Good tip there. Fiverr. Fiv. What is it? I don't use, my podcast co-host used them before. Fiverr. You get it for really cheap. It is definitely worth doing something like that. Let's see. Maddie said, I've never gotten a complaint from background music or shaking. Okay. I'm curious. Let's just check out your videos. You've never had a complaint. I'm being a jerk because I don't think you asked for this. I want to see how loud the music is. There might be a reason you've not gotten a complaint. It might be... Okay, yours is over the time lapse. You're not talking here. The music actually fits with the style you're doing. Yeah, that works. Do you have any where you're... Oh, there's swearing. This is a little bit hard to watch just because you're almost whispering and your video music is a little louder in parts. So that is something I would recommend. I mean, if you really want to grow that more, that might be something to watch your levels. Like if the music's working for you, and this is the thing, any tips I'm giving you, there's going to be times where here's a case like this where Maddie's like, no, this works for me. If it's working for you, you keep doing it. Just because it doesn't work for most people doesn't mean it can't work for you. It might work better if you did it. I don't know. There's not one mold of this is always the case. I can give you this is usually the case. There's always going to be exceptions to that. And Maddie's grown her channel looks like it's got good numbers. It's done in a way that I can see why it would work for her. But I would recommend, it's hard to hear you when the music came in, at least the one section. I mean, I gave it a 5-second chance. That one section, it was a little bit hard to hear you because you're kind of talking like this and the music's going, and that, I wouldn't watch it. Nothing personal. Your artwork looks awesome. Your channel looks cool. But that is definitely something that, I've lost all of my channels. What were we on, Brooke? Let's open her back up. That is something that I would definitely just keep in mind. Watch your levels because that makes it hard for people to watch and you can lose people over that a lot. But again, if it's working for you, it's working for you. I've seen artists where they're like, okay, I'm going to take a 6-month sabbatical and I'm not going to post, or not artists, just YouTubers in general. I'm not going to post anything for the next 6 months and I'll come back and my thought would have been everything I've ever heard or read says, don't do that. You got to post regularly. Didn't hurt them at all. There's always exceptions. There's always reasons that people don't fall within that certain mold. So I get that. You've got to figure out what works best for you. The tips that I'm giving are kind of your usual for most people type situations. So that is that. Yeah, and see, this is a good point. Pembleby says, also, if people are turned off by the music or the shakiness, they are more likely to just leave the channel than they are to comment and tell you. And that is definitely true. Because people don't want to be mean. I mean, you get some people who look for any opportunity to criticize you and tell you to change something. But most people, most artists that I know of aren't like that. They're just like, okay, this content isn't for me. I don't want to discourage her, but it's not for me. So I'll just go find something else that fits my needs. That's mostly what's happening. So I wonder if it would help you. I wonder if it would hurt you. I don't know. Again, there's not one mold that's going to fit every single situation. But that is definitely true. Your artists and art groups are usually really cool people. The majority of are really, really cool people, and they're not as likely to be as critical or tell you they don't like something as they are just to go find another channel and let you continue having fun doing your thing and not want to discourage you. So, I mean, there's exceptions to that, but you have to keep that in mind too. Yeah, and copyright is a huge deal with music too. You have to be careful with that. Putting music, you can get your channel taken down, not just demonetized, you can get it taken down and get a strike against your channel for having music that's not copyrighted. So you want to definitely watch that. The one that I use, and this is not a promotional or anything, it's an Epidemic. What is it? This is who I use. Yeah, it's Epidemic Sound. This is where I get my music. I used to get it from another location, and my MCM keeps changing who we use, but I'm really liking them because they have special effects. Like I did the special effects yesterday on yesterday's video. If you saw the intro where it goes like the first few seconds and you can hear a pencil writing while it's showing you the artwork and the supplies at the very thing and my name comes in, I got that special effect of a pencil writing sound. I got that from this site. So Epidemic Sound is really cool. I'm through them because of my MCN. Is how I have it. So it's not something I pay for. It's like I pay for it by paying my MCN. This is not promoted or anything. It's just a thing that I like that has been working out pretty well for me. Oh yeah, Kimberly said I just signed up with them. Kimberly, I'm going to give you a tip right now that I did not find out about. So let's say I wanted pencil. Type in SFX. And then here, all SFX matches, click that, and you can go through. Pencil sharpener. I'm so including that in one of my videos one of these days. Like all of these sound effects that we can include in our videos that just make them that much more, I don't know, I was going to say visually appealing, but I guess it's audible. It makes our ears happy. It makes them more interesting. You can definitely get a lot of really, really cool sounds, and you get, I mean, there's just so much stuff. You can get music too. My only complaint with this site is if I want a longer song, I have a really hard time finding anything longer because they don't list it. They don't tell me anywhere on this list. If someone knows a way to fix this, maybe my settings are off. I can't see how long anything is until I click on it. So I click pencil sharpener, and then once it loads, I can see here, okay, it's 3 seconds. But when I want a song, when I'm looking for something, I'm like, okay, I have a 6-minute video I need music for. I can't look for things that are long enough. So that is my biggest complaint about this site. But for special effects right now, I love them. Like I've got sounds of birds or water running or just, yeah, huge fan. Yeah, Kimberly's excited now, mind blown. Yeah, it's just SFX. Anything you want, pencil, SFX, pen drop, bell, like cash register, because sometimes if you're talking about money, you might have a cash register sounds come in the background. I'm so excited to start including, I just found out about this week. I've had a membership with them for months, and I didn't know about the special effects sounds until this week, and I'm so excited. So I'm glad that somebody can use this. There we go. And if you guys, I know the chat isn't going to stay in, like once this video goes live, it's not going to stay there for long term for people to see. If you want to come back to this video and write in links for places that you know you can get royalty-free sound for, royalty-free music, any like resources that you suggest for an artist who is building their channel and wanting to grow, and definitely in this case, a smaller channel, younger channel, however you want to put it, that wants to move past out of the YouTube threshold, if they wanted to monetize their stuff really soon, anything you think that might help them, link that in the description, not here in the comments. You have to wait till the video gets processed once the live stream is over. But I would love for you guys to leave any links that would help any other YouTuber. It'd be nice if we could kind of build a list of suggestions for people to click on. So that is it. We are done. Again, there's so many of you submitted your channels that I didn't get to that I definitely I'd like to. Maybe we'll do it next week at this time. We'll see, because I know there's at least a few more that I would like to get to that had things that I think could help you guys out with little tweaks here and there, little changes that can help get more people likely to hit that subscribe button and then more likely to watch your content. But here, we can look through, yeah, I think we kind of went through those. This, you know what's funny too? My most popular video, Prismacolor versus Faber-Castell Polychromos colored pencil. So I've got, that is one of the best names. I put with Lachri is in there. One of the best names I've come up with because it's just straight and to the point, simple image, and that is my most like that is the video I get the most views on because it's information people were looking for, especially back then, because there weren't a lot of reviews, because that's what I wanted, were colored pencil reviews, and I wasn't finding a lot of them a few years ago when I made that video. So when I tried them, I'm like, okay, I'll let people know what I thought. That video did really well because it was something people were looking for, and I didn't have a lot of competition. Now, that's another thing. You want to think about your competition. So let's say now there's a bunch of people, I'm sure, who have videos, Prismacolor versus Faber-Castell. The competition is higher. When I made this video, it wasn't, and that's part of why this video did so well. That's the video that pushed me through getting me more subscribers. I created something a lot of people wanted. A lot of people wanted to know about. I didn't know. I had no idea people wanted to know about it. But there wasn't competition in that subject, if that makes sense. And being colored pencil, of course, that's a very popular thing. I didn't even have, there's no writing. The thumbnail is basic, no writing, no text, and that's done, I mean, really well view-wise. So that is definitely something to keep up. True wants to know when I will continue these reviews. I'm thinking if everything goes well, we may want to do next, plan on next days, all of it is hard, next Saturday at the same time. It'd be kind of fun to do this again then. And what I will try to do is put some of the links that you guys write in this video in the description of the other, because again, I want as many people to learn and grow as possible from these things. This is definitely like, I mean, most of your channels, I'm looking at your channels going, there's no reason you can't grow faster. Little things I think will help you. Little collaborations you can do with each other. And when I say little collaborations, I mean like doing a trade. Here, you share one of my playlists on your front page. I'm going to share one of your playlists on mine. And look, that's a small collaboration. Didn't take a lot of work, but both of you are going to benefit from it. Those types of things. I'd like to see if you guys can do that more. Oh, yeah, here, we'll do this really quick. Maria said, did you discuss misleading titles already? That's a big one. Make sure your titles deliver. You can have clickbait that is like, you know, like this one, top 7 colored pencil mistakes that beginners make. That's kind of clickbaity because people read that and go, am I making those mistakes? I've got to know. And they're going to watch it. But I deliver. You have to deliver. You can write something that's kind of like gets people going, oh my gosh, am I making the mistake? I'm scared now. You can do that as long as you deliver on those results. If I said that and then just said, yeah, sometimes people make mistakes, but I didn't give you any answers, oh, people would be mad. That would not be good. Make sure the description is very accurate to what you're doing, but you want to try to find a description that you want to describe what you're doing in a way that draws people in. Like it's a weird balance. Don't lie, be interesting. Figure that out and make sure, I mean, creating content that people are interested in is just going to be something you're going to figure out. When you first start, your first videos, most people aren't going to watch. Even if they do, you probably aren't going to do the best job editing. Most of us aren't, unless you have any kind of background in video editing and such. You're not going to. I want to show you mine. One thing, we'll go back to my very first time-lapse video. First effort. So I start off with my static image. It's got some information there. I didn't know how to talk or record audio for stuff, so I'm going through text that people aren't going to watch that. That text is not, and I can't even imagine how many people I just lost right there. That was not fitting. My camera is a little flip cam that I taped. I used, I think, masking tape or duct tape, taped it to the shelves. I still have those shelves in this studio. Taped it to the shelves that were behind me, and I recorded. That's what I had available to me, and that's how I got started. I keep hearing from people talking about, you know, big YouTubers don't understand. I don't. Look what I started with. This is how I started making videos. This wasn't, we don't start with where we end. I mean, you're going to start out with things not being amazing. Don't let that discourage you either. If you're like, you make a video and you're like, wow, it's not as good as this person's video. You'll get there if you keep trying. It takes practice. It takes time to learn how to do all of these things. I still love that painting, but dear God, is the quality. What is my 480? Is that as high as it goes? Yep. Wow, that is painfully bad. And I have music on this one because there's no talking. It was actually my old band, so I didn't have to worry about copyright. That was it. First video. I mean, this isn't, we didn't all start doing things that you're seeing us do now. This is, and I lift this up because I think it's hilarious that people can see where we started, to kind of encourage you that if you're doing something, you're like, I'm never going to be able to do videos like that person does. Why? This is where I started. This is pretty bad. So anyway, I bring that up as just, you will get there too. It just takes time. It takes practice and time and more time. But I hope those tips will help you out and that's something that does benefit you guys. And we've got our art group. If you want to head over there, if you want to, again, I'm going to post when I'm done with this. I'm probably going to go eat some lunch. Actually, that would be breakfast for me. I'm going to go eat something and then I'm going to start a thread over there for you guys. So you can do, if you want to do any of like, let's trade playlists for our front page. Collaborations, I think that would be a great, easy, quick way you guys could all do like right now, or anyone who's interested in doing it. Another thing, don't get frustrated. If you have 50 subscribers, don't be frustrated with someone who has 500 and says, no, this isn't the right fit for me. You know, it's okay to go, the 500 group kind of stays together, the 50 subscriber group kind of stays together. That's the easiest way to do this, and you still grow from that. A lot of people seem to think, well, if I just had a bigger YouTuber help me out, then I could grow. That bigger YouTuber, one, doesn't owe you anything. Two, it doesn't benefit them. You want to do a situation where you're both benefiting each other. That is ideal. So, you know, if you're under 100 subscribers, go with another person who's about the same. Don't jump up to someone with 50,000 and get mad that they're not wanting to do this with you. So just a little tip there. And I will go ahead and get that up for you guys, that post soon, so you guys can post all of your links. What I'll have you do is post links to your YouTube channels, and then you guys can, like, you know, continue talking in private messages. But that is it for today. Thanks for joining. I hope, my goal is to encourage you. It's never been to discourage you or make fun of you because you were demonetized. That was never, ever anything I was trying to do. Some people seem to take it that way, like I didn't care, and that wasn't it. I do care. That's why I made the video. I want you guys to be encouraged. I want you guys to grow. I want you to get well beyond that limitation that, or, you know, the threshold that YouTube set for you. But that's it, and I will see you over in the art group when I get that post up for you to do your collaborations. This is always awkward to turn it off. Bye.